So from the site analysis board that I have discovered and that I have investigated, I found that there are three main things that I want to amend on my design in my future design, which is the learning center. So the first thing is the human culture and activity, which is fishing in the community. So as we can see here, there are the main activity that usually done by the people is fishing and sightseeing the sea view. So the time they usually do those things is people usually come fishing by the Tambak Pontian around 8 a.m. to 11 a.m. Continue again at 3 p.m. until 7 p.m. So the potential learning center that can be produced at the site is fishing center. This is because, typo here. This is because most of the people visit Tambak Pontian will spend their time enjoying the sea view, the wind breeze, fishing, and also cooking and picnicking along the Tambak. Plus, majority of people will visit this place for sightseeing. So the second one I just highlighted from the site plan, which is not to scale. So this is our site. So the site is located at the corner lot of the minor road here. So this as we can see, this area is where the fishermen will go fishing and also the fishing competition will be held. So for your information, every year there will be a fishing competition and almost 900 participants will join the competition that held by the authority of Pontian. And also the site is located at the corner area where it has a high visibility towards the user from the pedestrian walkway, which is here, and also the minor road, which is here. So as we can see, this is the sea view and also the pedestrian walkway. And also the third things that I've highlighted from the site analysis, which is the landmark and the notes. Why do I highlighted this? Because the first landmark is important place where trading activities are held there. All the fishermen and also the trading activities and also the jetty transportation held here. And also the second landmark is Terminal Bus Pontian, where it gives an opportunity transportation for the people to come to the site, although they want to visit the site for fishing or also sightseeing the sea view. So next is the notes. So why do I've highlighted the notes here, which is the four picture here, which is College Community Tanjung Piai, Tamadun Center Tuition Center, Vocal Practice Center, and Futsal Stadium Pontian. This is the building and also the learning center. What do we call that? Education center that is related to our project, which is we want to build a learning center. So these notes are related to the scope of education and also recreational, and also can give the opportunity to target user to visit and come to the learning center. So move on to my design ideation and concept. So we start on the issue first. So the issue that I've found in Tambak Pontian, which is there is lack of fishing knowledge and experience to the community, where there is no learning center that only emphasize on fishing, regardless that this area is for fishing activities, mostly done by mostly done fishing activities. And also, what is the connection between fishing and architecture? Why fishing learning is the best choice for this site? So the inspiration that I've got from this site analysis is from fishing activity, which is the human culture activity, plus the fishing learning center. So what do we got here is students that are interested in fishing can join the learning center. They will gain knowledge and experience, and at the end they will have the goal to catch the fish. So for my design ideation, the fish that we manage to catch at the end will represent as the knowledge um, and experience that we gain from the learning center. As the student learn in the learning center, which is the fishing academy, they will increase their knowledge and experience in fishing. So the fish itself, I want to more emphasize on my concept. I take the fish anatomy. So for the fish anatomy, there will be three parts of fish will be divided into three parts, which is the first one is the organ. These are all the things that are included in the fish body. First one is the organs, which is represent as the programs and interior spaces. The second one is the skeleton, which will act as an exterior structure and support. And last but not least, the scale, the skin of the fish, which is will represent the adaptable form to structure. So the design principle that I want to amend on my design is rhythm movement, which is the movement of the fish, aerodynamic, proportion of scale, this, the sizing of each space is related to one another, and also harmony. The arrangement of the hierarchy building gives the viewer the feeling of harmony. So as we can see here, the organ of the fish will be act as the program, and also the spatial arrangement and the interior of the building. So the skeleton, I have sketched a little bit of my idea. So I want to amend on the dynamic shape of the building as represent as the fish shape, where it has a dynamic shape. So, and also the scale, the facade of the building will act as a sun shading and catches the breeze. Material use, I will be using three types of materials. The first one is the timber for the facade to represent the skeleton of the fish protecting the organs, which is the interior. The second one is concrete for the foundation and columns of the building. And last but not least, the steel for jointing methods components. So these are moving on to my precedent studies. So the first one is Panel Sufficiency Economic and Agriculture Learning Center, which is made by Vinvarvan Architects. So the philosophy is based on conviction that sufficiency thinking will strengthen human capabilities with wisdom, morality, and immunities to cope with the unforeseeable changes in threats. So this place is also act as a landmark for agriculture activity for the people around there. So I am very interested with the design of the how the roof protect the interior space, where also I want to relate how the skeleton of this fish protects the organ in there. So second one is the community center adaptive reuse. This building is designed based on their climate changes, which is in Spain and surrounding context. The facade of the building attracts the user to feel the exploration and freedom as it is for the community. So what is the unique of this building is the spaces in the building are very strategic, as they can use different levels in each every floor to generate different spaces. And last but not least is the Konoha Clinic, which is this is my precedent study on the interior, where I want to amend this type of uh, walls in my learning center, so that it has the shape of the scale and also the skeleton of the fish. So I think that's all for me. Thank you. So any question?
Okay, guys, I need three questions from you guys.
Oh,
I pick name Awin,
Yeah.
you need to ask question.
Okay, can you zoom in a bit at the design ideation and concept?
Huh?
Can you zoom in a bit?
Okay.
Okay, wait ah. Okay, you said just now this building is um to attract people who love to fishing, right? But
Yes.
what if the majority people there, yeah, I know you said that if there is the annual event or fishing event like that, there's hundreds of participants entering the competition, but that's that competition is not monthly or year. It's not a everyday event, right? Okay, so what if this building, if like tak dapat sambutan from people who, do you get what I mean? What if everyone is not going to this building, macam mana? Macam nak cakap kejap Boleh bahasa Melayu ke?
Mahu tak ada boleh.
Okay. Okay. Macam
I
tadi
I
kan.
don't know. Abi, do you understand Malay?
Abi faham. Abi kan faham kan?
Faham. Lanjut.
Okay. Kan tadi macam kau cakap, you cakap this building macam untuk attract orang yang suka fishing macam tu kan?
Alright.
Okay, competition tu ada, macam benda tu ada tapi tak selalu. Tapi building ni akan ada selalu. What will you do if tak dapat sambutan as much as competition fishing tu? Faham tak? Sebab benda ni akan sentiasa ada dekat situ. What is the benda lain yang you will do untuk tarik lagi orang macam tu? Faham tak?
Okay, in terms
Because
of
I
okay.
need the idea juga. Okay.
Alright. Okay, for this building, I will only as I said before, this is for fishing learning center. But what if dia punya design dia tak memberi sambutan, atau maksudnya dia punya program dia tak memberi sambutan, I will make up and attend more on aquaculture, sebab aquaculture dari segi perikanan tak semestinya memancing juga. Dia ada banyak juga selain daripada ikan sahaja. Tapi concept of the fish is still there, but the aquaculture is very wide in terms of breeding. Untuk sebab sekarang ni breeding pun memainkan peranan dalam ekonomi, so banyak juga ada kaitan juga lah dalam fishing dan juga breeding ni dari segi aquaculture tu. So akan expand lagi lah dia punya scope dia. And in terms of program, and also event, and also ada offer for courses, tak semestinya untuk fishing courses saja, boleh juga kembangkan lagi untuk aquaculture. So luas lagi dia punya scope dia dekat situ.
Okay, faham. Okay,
Alright.
terjawab. Terima kasih.
Alright.
Alright. Pudin. And okay, alright.
Tak tahu nak bagi orang lain ke?
I nak suruh Awin pilih somebody.
Kahwin.
Okay, saya suka. Saya nak pilih. Ain.
Dah agak dah. Sekejap can you zoom in about the Precedent Studies?
Okay.
Economic. Between tiga-tiga ni, ada tak related to the concept or the course that you offered for your building?
Ada. Okay, the first one is the concept of the building is I like how the roof itself protecting the interior. Like also I've mentioned before how the skeleton protect the organ here. So the skeleton will represent as the roof, and so the second one is this building is adaptive use. It is based on climate changes. So dekat sini, dekat Spain ni dia punya climate dia berubah-ubah, sama juga macam dekat area Tambak Pontian ni. Kadang-kadang kita tak boleh control climate dia. Ada kadang-kadang cuaca terlalu, ada yang kawasan banjir, and also kawasan apa orang kata windy, and also yang bahaya-bahaya itulah. Ada yang macam tornado tu. So benda ni juga boleh the shape of the aerodynamic will help to reduce the pressure of air bila air tu touch the building. And also yang last kali ni is I've intended to, kalau kita tengok dekat sini, dia macam step, and also to represent dia macam ada dia susul macam ada sun shading, and also dia menaik macam skeleton. So sama juga dia punya function dia macam first study. So dia lebih kurang dia punya precedent study.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Alright, I think this is my comments lah, kan?
Alright.
You dah nak present you dah nak submit
Tak.
Dah siap buat dah?
Tak. This is just the rough one.
I share you.
Alright, Azmi.
Okay,
I don't think the pedestrian walkway, is it that big? It is just like the width of your vehicle roads.
Oh, sepanjang 3 meter I think.
The width, lebar dia tu.
Oh, I will check back.
You tengok you punya two lane vehicle tu kan? Vehicle road, I think it is the same as your pedestrian walkway, so I'm not sure. I think the width tu salah tu.
Oh, okay.
It should be narrower. Okay, yang tu please check.
Alright.
And then I have the same concern as Awin before this about the attraction to others. For instance, your building is for the teenagers who has already completed their secondary school, right? And then
Alright.
perhaps they want to go here because they want to get the certificate, right? I know
Alright.
your concern is more towards the local activity over there, and then you want to enhance the things surround your building.
Okay.
But okay, let's say the one that you have mentioned here, they all really know about fishing, for instance. So why do they need to go to this learning center, for instance? Okay, so I think the scope is quite narrow.
Okay.
Okay, what you can do is perhaps we don't force you to have this client.
Alright.
Uh, uh, okay, sorry. Apa tadi?
Okay, Doctor.
Ada distraction.
It's okay.
Apa tadi ah? Okay,
Force client.
the scope is quite narrow because you
Okay.
are only talking about somebody who want to go to fishing over there. Let's say they already know how to fish and so on, right?
Okay.
Then if you want to, if I want to help you, perhaps you can have the client. For instance, who is the client who will give certificate for those who has completed, katalah dia akan dapat yang about fishing, and
Alright.
also what are the other programs that you can give to them.
Okay.
Kan sekarang ni you only talk about you want to teach them how to fish, kan?
Betul.
So what else? Sedangkan dia dah tahu fishing,
Alright.
kan?
Okay.
Itulah dia too narrow, and then takut you punya building ni tak ada orang nak belajar kat sini.
Okay.
Okay.
Faham.
Ataupun you try cari klien yang akademi yang menawarkan bidang-bidang berkaitan fisherman ni. For
Alright.
instance. And then you see what are the programs that they offered. For instance, they not only talking about how to fish, perhaps they talk about how to do the fishing business, for instance.
Okay.
Kan? Ataupun dia buat macam cara-cara penjagaan
Yes.
fishing, apa tu yang sangkar apa ikan sangkar.
Yang breeding macam mana nak luaskan lagi dia punya ekonomi.
Yes, those
Betul.
are the thing on your programs. Kalau tak dah lah dia dah tahu fishing. Lepas tu buat apa? Your learning center, and then I get the certificate for what? Kan?
Okay.
Even
Understood.
I tak boleh pun bawa my certificate tu untuk pergi as my resume untuk cari kerja.
Alright.
Tak boleh kan?
Tak boleh. Dia just as a hobby je fishing ni actually.
So sebagai hobi, so why do I need the certificate? Because it is just only a hobby, right?
Alright.
Okay, so try to figure out perhaps you try cari client tu, and then you try to add the value to your building.
Alright.
If not, dia macam tu lah. Nobody will go to your learning center to learn about how to fish, right?
Okay, Doctor.
And then the organ of the fish that okay, your spatial arrangement is too literal. Yang tu you
Okay.
buat bentuk ikan tu kan? Kan? Tu literal. Dia macam ni. My lecturers dulu he always taught me this. If I were to given a project to you to build a kilang kicap,
Okay.
kan? Is the kilang tu dia akan bentuk macam kicap. Betul kicap tu. Itu dia punya analogy lah. So same as yours, you want to do something which is related to the fish, and then you just draw an outline of the fish, and then you just pap. Okay, dah siap. Kan? Itu yang panggil literal translation.
Okay.
Right?
Alright, Doctor.
Kalau I nak buat kilang buat bakul, so my building tu looks like bakul, something like that. Right? Itu
Okay.
yang try to not to be mental blocked by this kind of literal translation.
Okay, Doctor.
Okay. Your first Precedent Studies is just like Mahu's Precedent Studies this morning, but it's okay because you have your own interpretation of these case studies. The one that you want to bring into your building later is I think the yang tu kot, yang the repetition of the timber planks tu kot.
Yes.
Right? So you need to expect whatever the gist that you want to take from the building. For instance, you were talking about the interior, but what are the things that you want to take from the interior design of this Precedent Studies, and how does it relate back to to your site, for instance, because this building, for instance, the third one, right, Kubota Construction,
Okay.
it is a healthcare architecture clinic. So, and then it is located in Japan. Japan, it is a four-season country, and then they need a lot of daylight, for instance. And then not only the daylight, they also need the heat to come into the building, right? So that's
Okay.
why it has this kind of repetition of the something like wings, something like that, right?
Okay.
So I'm not sure about the third one too. Is it really suitable with your site, which is located beside the sea, or you want to talk about the framing the view, for instance? So those are the things that the the terminology that I look into. For instance, what are the things which is you want to take from your building and then you want to bring to your building, but it is related to each other.
Oh,
And it is suitable with your site. Okay,
okay.
we not only take it because we like it, kan?
Uh-uh.
Memang you
Tak ada
suka benda ni.
related.
Memang you suka. Tapi how does you relate back to your site? Because
Alright.
this one kan related to your site synthesis.
Mm-mm.
Yang tu I tak nampak sangat.
Okay,
Your
doktor.
site synthesis maksudnya hari tu kan kita buat SWOT analysis. The strength is the view, for instance.
Okay.
So, which views that you want to cater most? Perhaps you want to something which is directly related to the boat jetty, for instance.
Okay.
So, where do you put those things? Ini dah bagus lah, macam you ada sketches yang you buat the red lines, the blue lines. So, how does it related back to your site? This one is only talking about the fish, kan?
Yes.
So itulah. Bila you terlampau bercakap pasal fish tu, dia jadi related tu lah. It's okay. It's okay if you want to have the skeleton and so on, but relate back to your site.
Alright, doktor.
Not only talking about the fish.
Okay.
Alright. Okay. Itulah kot. For this time being, it is a good progress, but there are still a lot of things that you need to think deeper.
Okay, doktor.
Alright. So,
Alright.
I'm not sure about yang third case studies tu. Yang tu you kena relook back.
Alright, I will look back for the case study.
You kena relate back. Macam Precedent Studies tu dia quite dia jauh tau daripada you punya site synthesis yang atas sekali tu.
Okay.
So you kena linkkan balik. Alright?
Alright, doktor.
Okay. Itu je.
Okay. Thank you, doktor.
Right.
I will give my giliran kepada Ain.
Why?
Sebab Ain dia nak tukar.
Dia very eager to present.
Tak. Tak. Tak rata.
Dia tak sabar.
Kan sebab Jackie ada keluar.
Ada apa?
Jackie ada, itulah rata.
Apa?
Ada keluar.
Keluar apa?
Jackie saya keluar, so macam saya nak dulu.
Ni kan time kelas?
Tahu.
Ha.
Okay, saya present
Okay.
Okay, for the site synthesis, I'm taking and highlighted about the current issues, which is the COVID-19 problem. As we know that the COVID-19 is not just a health crisis, but also affected the economy and financial of the family, especially the Pontian residents. So also the fisherman income is also affected. And next about the current issues is like this kind of empty space. It's like next to futsal stadium Pontian. Actually, it was initially an area for teenagers to do a business, but due to the political issue, the place was discontinued for the young generation to earn their money for their car boot sale and more. And for the next is about the educational or educational center available in Pontian. Is only provide the foreign language, learning for snooker, sport, and college community is provided only this kind of courses. and learning center for the vocal. Next about the noise. So it is near our site is a kind of busy road at the corner of the site that leads to Tambak Street Market. Leads to Tambak. And the noisy sound of the street market. Over here, the cleaning activities by local authorities is also the noisy sound near to our site. So for me, it is the uncomfortable place for the learning center that needs in focusing and reading process. So it is easily for the interaction will disrupted. I don't have any kind of concept yet, but this is my precedent study. Linde Center for Music and Learning Center. I will create a building for the musical and performance learning center, since in 1 kilometer radius of Pontian there's no available for the music or performance learning center. So it is by William Ron Associate. It is located at the northern edge of the Bernstein campus. It is provide additional concert and rehearsal space for the Tanglewood Music Center. The Lynn Center for Music and Learning is the result of an intensive institution-wide assessment of current and future capital need. So it is basically for the learning center and the performance center. Next, my personal study is Paint Lake and Essendon Grammar School Music Center by McBride Charles Ryan, located at the Australia. Beauty and indie music have their own utility is the concept of this building. And it is used for school music tuition. Then this new project was refurbish the existing historic music house and to provide improved spaces for music tuition and performance. So it is provide learning space and also provide the performance space. The new building is comprised of variously sized practice rooms, individual tuition, and also a group practice. As you can see, it is the place for the instrument learning. A large classroom has been included intended for learning, tuition, and key performance space for students, parents, and others. So the design intention is focused on the pursuit of joy and beauty, and the first and engaged lyricism of music as an overarching theme. So why I chose the building learning center for the musical and performance, because in the Pontian they provide some food, which is like the street market, landmark spot, which is the trade center, but the place was agak suram and tak dapat sambutan dari segi musical or performance. So sambil-sambil belajar about the musical and instrument center, they will provide some performance near the site. So I'm just thinking about the making a building with the colorful and energetic color. Because as you can see dekat Pontian ni banyak bangunan-bangunan yang suram, macam color-color yang suram. So I just decide to do some sort of like this with the highlighted most of in the site. I think that's all.
All right. One question from Sevi.
Can you zoom in a bit your yang site synthesis tu? Okay. Kejap ah. Moving to the precedent study. Yeah, I see a bit. I think the environment aspect that she didn't touch.
Didn't touch about most likely comment for Hazmi, same as me, because I'm not really touched about the site in precedent study.
So
Okay.
you already admitted.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
can I ask, what is your, how to say, if your design, your building, what is the difference if I put in the site and then I put in another place like that? Your I, how to say, any precedent study you want to take the element, right? Can you explain a bit how to relate it to the site with this element?
Oh, okay. I will take this one. Since for the learning and performance
Uh-huh.
so I will likely to do like this in is it like open space, and it also not untuk for the student that learning in the building. So dia pun boleh macam untuk sesiapa yang datang pun boleh just macam tengok. So that's why I choose this kind of precedent study because it an open space.
How about the form?
About the form, I'm not thinking it yet.
Oh, okay, never mind. I think that's all from me. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, Chevy, you choose somebody else.
I just Ame lah.
Okay, Amir, the chosen one.
Can you zoom in a bit at COVID-19? Okay, okay, dekat set synthesis ni, what is your implementation to counter the COVID-19 head-on?
Okay, since like for the COVID-19, I will relate it to the economic and financial problem. So I forgot to say that I will likely another proposal with the for the youth center that more focusing on the economical learning center, but I'm not found any precedent study yet. So with that, it is related with the COVID-19 cases for the learning center that will encounter back the economic and financial problem.
Okay.
I have another question. If
Yes.
you do if you take this COVID-19 as one of the issue for your design, what if later, maybe 2-3 years after that, the COVID is already healed, and then your space maybe you will affect maybe?
Actually, it's not focusing on yeah. I'm taking it because of the pandemic, since like the pandemic is affected the economic and financial, but tak semestinya tak semestinya waktu pandemic je it will affect the economic and financial. So it is time to create something place for learning untuk ajar mereka tentang economic and financial untuk masa depan. Tak semestinya pada pandemic COVID-19 saja.
Oh, okay, macam flexible lah.
Hmm.
Okay, thank you.
Alright, thank you, Chevy and Amir. Ain, I think there are two things that you want to do, which is not really related to each other. For instance, the first thing you were talking about the COVID-19, and then the problem with the financial and so on, right?
Yeah.
And then the second we were talking about the music center. So how does it related?
Actually, about the music and learning center, this is because it is not provided yet in the Pontian. And also, for me, saya tak suka something yang cause music and performance is related to the noisy sound yang macam tak perlukan fokus ataupun tempat yang senyap untuk membaca. So it is really suitable for the performance and musical taste for me.
So the main thing that you want to do is the music center, right? So
Yeah.
perhaps you need to reverse back. You need to find out the clearer problem identified at the site. For instance, you were talking about there is no any performance center yet. That one is related to your music center. But the things that you were talking about, the COVID-19, it affect the fishermen and so on, yang tu, it is quite unrelated. So that's why it becoming more, the scope is bigger, but you cannot manage to tie it, right? So perhaps after this you kena step apa tu, you reverse sikit, and then you find out what are the things, issues and problem identified at the site that you want to synthesize it to provide a performance center. Okay, and then yang ni pun I tak tanya lagi, macam music performance, what kind of music, what kind of performance that they are going to learn in your center?
I will think. I'm not think about it yet, Doctor.
Okay, that's why, because it is related to your site. For instance, you're saying that it is very cultural place. For instance, Pontian is very famous with its history and cultural thingy, but there is no no any center which provide this kind of cultural punya thingy dekat Pontian, for instance, and then you want to provide a performance center, but it is more on the traditional music, for instance, macam tu. Okay,
Oh,
yang tu kena relate back. Sebab tu yang COVID tu, I'm not sure why it is there. I thought kalau
ni
you
tu.
hmm.
Sebenarnya macam this is different. Macam if I wanted to create this kind of music learning center, so this is this is the part. So about this one I'm not tak jumpa lagi. So sebenarnya dia berbeza. So this one is really related to the youth center macam tu. So dia macam itulah ada dua macam tu lah.
So now you are providing options, right?
Yeah.
So which one do you prefer?
For now I prefer this one, but it's not that strong
Okay.
lah.
Alright. So if you prefer this one, yang tu I cakap you kena reverse back. You kena apa tu, reverse lah. You kena reverse sikit, and then you kena find out the problems and identify tadi. You were saying tu, okay, yang tu one of the problems identify kan. There is no apa tu, any entertainment something, macam you kata petang-petang you nak buat macam basking ke something like that, right? Yang tu tak ada kan. So yang tu boleh, dan but that one is not strong enough lah, because it is only one thing. Okay, and then I would suggest macam Hazmi tadi juga, if you can find macam any client ke who provide this kind of for instance traditional performance art kan. I'm not saying that you need to take the traditional, yang tu you kena tengok balik, is there Pontian need those things. For instance macam sekarang tak ada pun any cultural center dekat Pontian, that's why you want to inject something which is related to the cultural thingy. But in terms of musical and performance, yang tu okay, tapi you kena carilah dia punya facts tu. Dia tak boleh macam kita just assuming, right? Yang tu you kena work backward, right? And then and all the case studies, it is only related on the musical kan. Yang tadi pun Xavier dia tanya kan, how does it relate back to your side? Yang tu tak nampak lagi lah. And then for instance, like I said, if you need to have 3 case studies, and then the requirement by Dr. Izura, it need to be one is from Malaysia, right? Kan, you kena tengok balik. You all need to read back the project brief by Dr. Izura. One of the requirement is one of the case studies need to be coming from Malaysia. Okay, and then perhaps you can take another one for your music center, and perhaps another case studies is a building which is located next to the sea, for instance. So kita nampak lah the context to it is more related. Okay.
Okay.
And then like Hazmi's juga, what are the elements that you want to take from your case studies tu? For instance macam yang ambil yang apa, the second one, are you going to take dia punya the dynamic of the form ataupun the dynamic of dia punya shape tu kan? Is it the things that which is related to your site later, for instance? Kan? Yang tu pun you kena tengok satu-satu lah. It is not only we want to do a music center and then we just take whatever music centers studies, kan? So kena relate back to your site. Kalau tak, dia sayang lah sebab you have provided all these things which is related to your site. Tapi you punya case studies that has been selected, it is not related at all. Okay? Alright, I think that's all from me. Ain?
Yeah.
So you kena tengok balik yang tu. Yang the problem identified tu at the site. Okay? Right. Okay.
Thank you, Doctor.
Right.
I will share the screen. Sekejap eh. Okay. Okay. For this project, I want to propose a culinary learning center, which is to encounter the issue of the shops and business around that site is quite gloomy and not fully operated. The activities only busy at certain time and not much activities occur in that site. As we can see, ada fishing, and recreational activities only happen at. So why I choose culinary learning center ni is to provide new tourist attraction which can boost the business or shops around the site, and also to offer culinary skills and promote Pontian seafood from the driver, Encik Rizwan, I'm not mistaken. He said that kalau dekat Pontian ni famous juga dengan seafood, so I think I want to promote seafood at here. Maybe can be a new something like Tanjung Piai, and maybe a new landmark that offers education, food, and also nice view, to make the activities of people visiting at Tambak Pontian become more diverse. So macam-macam sikit lah aktiviti yang berlaku kat sana. So next is of this site is breathtaking view. People can experience it while learning, eating, and etc. And near with the fish pier place where there is a fish landing activities happen there, so we can get fresh seafood directly. And also for one of it is fishing activities, maybe like kan ada like macam ada pertandingan tahunan kan, maybe if even tak ada pertandingan tahunan pun, maybe if they catch the fish, maybe dia orang boleh makan ikan yang diorang tangkap tu dekat my learning center. Okay, so for the site analysis, sign direction, as we already studied, the sign direction is from east to west. So for my site synthesis, the sign direction, we need to consider the building material for the building that facing east and west. And for the wind direction, most of the wind from the south to north. So maybe my building will facing to the south, possibly to have big opening at south and north. And for the circulation, for now we don't have any road existed that go to the site. So maybe I would like to propose a new road, which I do like this because AR Chan said like the same same work base like they choose at the corner, so it is better to have a new road because it might be dangerous. And for the amenities, for now we don't have any bicycle lane and pedestrian access to the site, and I wish to add pedestrian access and bicycle lane. So the light green is the pedestrian access, and the darker green is the bicycle lane. Okay, so for the safety, and we all know that lack of street lamp, so maybe which lead to the criminal cases happen. So I think maybe for the site synthesis, I want to propose more street lamp. And for the environment, as we all know, the issue is littering happen here. So why don't we propose a new place dustbin area that more to the place near to the street market sebab kan sampah-sampah ni datang daripada street market tu sendiri. So maybe mungkin orang rasa jauh nak buang sampah tu. So why don't kita sediakan satu place yang dekat untuk diorang buang sampah tu. Okay, lepas tu for building styles, as we know, there's two building styles existed, which is modern and industrial. And for the site synthesis, I would like to follow the existing building style, which is modern and industrial. Okay, for this study, I got three. First, doctor asked us to find a building that related to the type of learning center that which is, so I chose the culinary learning center, which is located at Spain, which they provide education, innovation, and research, called as Basque Culinary Center. The shape is actually resembles tidy or pile dishes. You can see here ada tingkat-tingkat ni is like dishes yang, lepas tu they also got some like tempat duduk-duduk. So I think I would like to include that in my building later. And they also got cafe, so which I think is good sebab bila diorang belajar, diorang boleh practice sekali apa skills yang diorang belajar tu dengan cafe ni lah. So orang boleh datang makan dan boleh test diorang punya skills tu. So diorang ada auditorium juga, and also ada tasting room, and also ni tempat diorang masak. Okay, then second is about the timber building. So timber building I forgot to include the name. I choose this because I like the wavy like design of the sun shading. So this is the horse show places. For that study, I still not found any yang macam like how they solve the problem yang corrosion semua tu. So but I ada jumpa dia jugalah, tapi tak apa faham sangat. So this one is offshore visitor center located at Swansea Bay, but this one is only a proposed design, not existed yet. The concept is about the shells, dia macam oyster. Lepas tu dia ada bahagian yang fokus only view je, and ada yang tutup macam tu lah. Lepas tu that is Castro Bar. This tempat ni dia punya Azobe wood chosen for durability in seawater, and also for the circular shape, orang concentrate for the wind and sun direction. This is for people buff lah. For this one, I'm not confirmed yet, but I still in my findings lah. So for the exploration ideas, I have three. What do I want to include in my design? This is the place for people to visit. So like as you can see here, diorang boleh duduk-duduk. So taklah terhad sangat orang tu duduk dekat tepi pantai tu je. So maybe orang boleh ada integration design saya, building saya ni dengan landscape tu sendiri. So maybe mungkin orang boleh enjoy view and stargazing. So ada new place for them untuk enjoy a new more interesting views. So sebab pun kalau macam malam, siapa je nak duduk dekat tepi pantai gelap-gelap tu kan. So maybe I think I want to include this in my design. They call as at plaza or in bracket area. So second is I want to include also a big frame. So like macam diorang memasak tu boleh tengok view, and sambil tu kalau yang orang datang makan tu pun boleh enjoy the sea view. So these are example for the cafe, and maybe I want to include also like a wavy shape because kita dekat dengan sea. Maybe mungkin ada something yang resembles wave. So another thing is maybe this one not sure. Maybe kalau takut lah kan kalau ada banjir ke apa. Tapi not this kind of elevated lah. Tapi maybe elevated sikit. Jadi tak adalah lecak atau banjir yang effect building kita. So another one is I think this is the overall view. I didn't have any sketches. Maybe I think I would like to do like this. Which is my concept, learn it and also lepak. So I think that's all from me. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Curly, one question for Putin.
Yes, hello, Pudding.
Hello.
Hello, Pudding. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too.
Excited.
Actually, your sun direction is wrong place, right?
Okay, I will.
Yes, it's
change.
the wrong place. That side is west to east already. Should
Okay,
yeah.
okay.
Because
And the sun is
Okay.
smiling. Please change the sun.
Okay.
actually the sun direction is cannot you say consider for your building material lah for me lah. Use how to you use the building material to form the shadow at there. Maybe this thing is not consider the building material, is like how the sun direction affect your shadow. And I think it's the wave there at the high. I got the high tiles, right? High tile. Maybe this one is like consider what the material you use. Yeah. I think can you move on to your precedent study?
Okay, which one? This one? This one.
The first one, right? So are you using this shape as your building, right?
Shape tu I tak tahu, I cannot imagine lagi macam mana I punya, tapi I just take this because it's relates the same with my chosen learning center. Lagi satu
Yeah, because this one is macam more in the natural lighting and enlarge the sun direction to come inside your building. Then next to your prison study is like play the shape and play the or what do you call ornamentations. Yeah, maybe you can make this one. You want two in one is quite difficult lah for me, but you can try. Yeah.
This one yang actually for the culinary I ambil because dia ada cafe. So macam I nak provide cafe tu dalam I punya learning center. So orang datang sana tak adalah orang belajar je. Orang luar sendiri pun boleh datang rasa makanan orang yang belajar tu. Faham tak?
Oh,
Macam tu lah.
jika you ambil yang untuk makanan, you ambil business study tentang makanan lah. Sebab
Okay.
F&B punya criteria and equipment is another one is not like same as this type of building. Maybe lah the service problem lah. You can take another macam F&B punya business study. Okay, that's all from me. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, Kelly, pick somebody else to ask question.
I pick Shami.
Shami, are you here? I think okay.
Yes, ada.
Alright.
Tapi saya tak dengar.
You don't need to listen, you just ask.
Apa yang nak ask? I think about where Rota? I tak tahu lah sebab I tak tengok dari first tadi.
Shami ni.
Saya baru masuk je.
Okay, you owe me a question. Kelly, find somebody else.
I choose Fakira. Kira.
Okay,
Hello.
Fakira, our guest.
Thank you, Curly. Yeah,
This is our external panel.
I just wanna ask, what is the apa benefit dekat community tu? Apa yang dapat benefit tu? Community tu apa benefit diorang dapat?
Diorang dapat belajar cooking skills and tak fokus on only cooking skills lah. Diorang juga kalau you belajar cooking kan, takkan you nak belajar je kan. Like they also can practice their cooking skills in there dekat cafe tu sendiri. So 2 in 1 lah. Not only you learn how to cook but also you can learn more lah. It's like to serve people, how macam mana nak cakap how the business food to work ke. Maybe macam tu kot rasanya. Itulah sebab I rasa kat situ dia macam terlalu sunyi and diorang datang sana untuk memancing dan tengok view je. So macam tak ada banyak sangat aktiviti. So I think I want to provide something yang diorang boleh belajar and itulah.
Okay, thank you.
Alright.
Thank you.
Alright, guys. I think this one is better rendering of your sea water. Last time you have been commented about this water tu kan. Yang ni kan okay. Dia punya at least nampak pattern and the colour is bluish colour and so on. So try to figure out ways on how to amend your water punya rendering and before this. Udin, how to spell culinary?
Salah je, dia ada satu L je.
Tak pun. What is the difference between culinary and gastronomy?
Astronomy. I will do research about that.
Later you'll check. What is the difference between culinary and gastronomy? Okay, because gastronomy is more related to the culture and so on, food culture, something like that. But please research which one is better for your learning center. Is it a culinary center or gastronomy center, learning center, right? And then I think culinary center is a good proposal, but the thing is your research is quite surface. It is not deep enough in terms of your justification. Why do you need this kind of culinary? For instance, you were talking about the culture of Pontian people, what do they have, but for the food, right, for the food culture, you didn't really stress on it. For instance, what is the famous food dekat Pontian tu? One is the seafood yang you sebut tadi kan. But what kind of food? For instance, is it something like traditional food? What are the things that they sell dekat stalls tepi-tepi tu kan? So you kena research lagi on the famous food at Pontian, for instance, not only on the seafood. Perhaps dia ada dekat Pontian kan ada orang orang Bugis, orang Jawa. Kan dia ada yang traditional food macam burasak, for instance. Do you know burasak?
I know.
Kan? So those are the things that you need to really study about it. Kalau tak, dia akan jadi macam your punya explanation tu is not strong enough. Okay? Macam you buat sini pun, I tengok yang the site synthesis is more on the side. You were talking about the sun orientation, wind orientation. When you talk about all these things, it can be any building. Betul tak?
Betul.
Kan dia general, right? So you need to stress more on the culinary things or the food culture over there. Why do you need this kind of food? Lepas tu, is there any event macam food festival, for instance? Ada tak? Ataupun dia ada night market? What kind of kat mana tu night market? Kan? Yang tu you kena banyakkan lagi. Kalau tak, it is very surface. And then you cannot really justify your ideation. The ideation tu bagus, cuma you tak dia punya justification tu is not strong enough. Okay? Yang tu you kena go back. Yang macam tadi juga lah, macam semua orang juga. You kena apa tu, step backward. You kena study lagi, baru you came up with this ideation. If not, it becoming like just you jump into the conclusion. Right? Okay, faham tak Pudin?
Faham kot. Nanti saya cubalah cari kalau yang macam
Tak ada
apa tu.
kod-kod.
Okey.
Wajib faham. Macam
Faham.
sekejap I conteng sekejap. Macam this one kan, this one is only talking a general thing. It is not really site synthesis. To go to your culinary punya learning center kan.
Betul.
Macam sun direction. Curly is also using the same sun direction. So, tapi dia ada different type of building. Kan, for instance, May is also using the same sun direction. So, tapi different kind of building. So, yang tu yang tak kuat tu. Right?
Okay.
And then, same like your case studies, I think you need to find macam variation of case studies lah. Like I said, one is from Malaysia. Satu, maybe you take from a timber building. And then another one you take from the building which is located next to the sea. Yang tu dah ada tadi kan?
Tapi saya macam masih tak jumpa like macam mana diorang building yang diorang solve masalah apa tu yang macam cepat karat semua tu. Saya tak jumpa lagi.
It's okay, yang tu you still have time to find. And then yang paling the most important thing is your program. For instance, you were talking about culinary. That's why lah tadi. Macam you kata dekat culinary center ni, there will be classes. Kan? And then you need to have a big storage for the cooking utensil. For instance, you need to have the kitchen. Kitchen should be bigger. But how big is the kitchen? Kan? For let's say for one student, you need to have katalah 2 meters times 2 meters. For instance, yang tu nanti yang the detailing you need to find out juga. Okay, the layout untuk culinary punya center, for instance. And then you also want, you mentioning about you want to provide an eateries punya area, right? So where's the best location for the eateries area and how big is it? How many public that you want to invite at one time and so on. So yang tu pun the case studies tu, the most important case studies is the culinary learning center itself. Okay, because I want you to know what are the programs offered. Okay. Right? Okay, I think good ideation on culinary, but the justification is not strong.
Yeah.
Right?
I will do improvement later.
Okay.
Saya nak tanya macam mana nak notate ni. Saya tak reti.
Nak apa?
Saya nak keluar tapi tak boleh keluar. Tak boleh gerak. Sebab ada invitation. Oh, okay. Boleh.
Okay. And then you guys, I think sama macam Ain tadi juga. You not really, because our second year first semester is more on the social culture, right? So you need to understand the people surround your building, for instance. So that's why I'm asking what kind of music, what kind of food that you are going to focus more on, for instance. Macam siapa tadi? Siapa tadi? Udin. Udin, are you talking about the apa tu, fast food? Ada tak? Ataupun traditional food? That's why I'm asking. What kind of F&B dekat yang you nak buat dekat you punya learning center tu? Ataupun dia ada mix, macam you focus on traditional food but at the same time dia juga belajar benda-benda lain juga. Okay? You study sikit about the culture of food tu. The food culture.
Tu macam mana doktor? Food culture tu maksudnya?
The food culture dekat that area lah.
Oh, yang popular tu lah.
But it is more on the social culture dekat within your area, kan? So it is not like you nak buat F&B yang related to macam fast food, macam McD, macam-macam tu kan?
Tak. Saya nak rasa macam saya nak buat yang macam maybe yang macam ni cakap yang dapat macam cakap menunjukkan Pontian tu lah.
Tapi it is not there yet. Yang tu you kena study. Right? Okay. Alright.
Thank you, Doctor.
Okay. Sekejap 2 minit. Minum air. Okay, done. Siapa lagi? Right, Abi.
Hello, can you hear me, Doctor?
Yes, yes.
Okay. Okay. So good afternoon, Dr. Rafat and my friends. I will explain about my ideation. Okay. Starting from the issue. So I found two kind of issue surrounding the site. The first one is it is lack of the music area. So that's why I want to implement a learning center to studying about music, maybe for the tools itself, or and like singing. And then on the second one, I also seen there's no um, learning center about dancing. So I think I can relate these two issue into my buildings later. Okay. Next is the case study. Okay, so for the first one is the Rolex Training Center from Architect Sana in 2010. The things that I want to take from this building is on this sixth image, which is the space. I want in my buildings later on will be there is like an empty space where people can sit down and gathering to discuss their problem, or even like an room for a meeting. And then the next one is the lecture learning center buildings in Zhuhai campus of Beijing. So from these buildings, the things that I want to take is the um, like the like the building implementations or in the outside of the building. So I see on the YouTube there's a lot of activity in the outside of the building. So I want later on the outside of my building. So there's a lot of activity also, but it's still on my side area. Okay. Okay. So for this one is actually the special arrangement that I want to plan. So starting for the first floor, um, actually in here I want to implement uh, like a studio for music and also like a dancing room to practice. And lastly, on the rooftop, maybe there is like a stage or like a movie theater to studying about music and dancing. For the ground floor, for the first floor, it's like most of it about activity. So because of that, on the ground floor, I want to make a room uh, to studying about the theory itself. And for the outside of the building that I mentioned before is maybe to interact the other people. I want to make like a space where they can like perform or also like studying about dancing, like a street dance, something like that. Okay, so for design ideations, for the buildings, I want to take the shape from like a basic shape, like a circle, triangle, and also square. For the color itself, I want to use like a bright color so it can attract the people that see the building later on. And for the shape itself, I was inspired by things about activity because the one that I see from the side, like because of this COVID situations, the space at the site become like less people. So I want to make the site alive. So maybe it can be also interact the people. I also was inspired by these two kind of paintings by the patterns. And then by these paintings, I want to relate it with the activity. So like these two images, I want to combine it. And for this one, I try to make it like a digital drawing. I try to connect the activity of the people and try to make like a tree line, which is green, red, and blue. And then I try to color it. The green one can be like the greenery, the blue one can be the watery space, and also the red one is the building itself. And for the sketches, this is what I imagine by seeing the ideation, doctor. I think that's all.
All right, thank you, Abi. Can we have a question from Ashraf, our external panel for today?
I'm sorry, Abi. Can you please tell me where you inspired the design by?
Sorry, the what?
Your design. Where do you get the idea of your design?
Okay. Sorry. Actually, before I was missed to explain this one. So this is what I get from my building exploration. So like I mentioned before, I was inspiring by the activity and also the shape. I want to make it like seems like a playground. Um, because I want to add like a bright color and also to add like a basic shape. I think yeah, I get from the building exploration and also uh, the my issue.
So how does that relate to your site?
Hello, sorry.
How does that relate to your site?
Okay. Since I think there's like the activity in the site, there's only like a fishing and also a night market. I think there's a lot of people that go to the Pontian side, not only for fishing. Maybe they want to enjoying the um, show. So I think this kind of learning center will be effective for the site.
I see. So you're saying that you are inspired by the movement of the activity at that site, right?
Yes.
I see. Yeah, I guess that's it.
All right, Ashraf, can you pick somebody else to ask question?
Tadi Pudin belum kan? Pudin?
Um, Abi,
Yes.
um, nak tanya kan,
Mm.
tadi you mention about the shape kan, the design of your music center. I think ada shape yang ada like triangle, circle, something like that.
Basic shape. This one.
Yes, this one.
Okay.
Okay lah, I nak tanya lah kan, like you punya ada dance kan? So
Ada apa?
dance, betul tak?
Oh, dance. Ya, ya.
Which kind of shape yang do you think dancing to, nak cakap
Can implement to the shape from dancing activity.
mana sesuai untuk orang, untuk dance class to happen? Faham tak? Like you want to combine all this shape ke or how?
Yes, but basically I just using like the circle, square, and also triangle.
Okay. And what kind of performance again for this?
For the first one, I was thinking of music performance, but I think I can also relate it with dancing.
I tak ada soalan actually. I think for me lah kan, why don't you make theater maybe, like you can combine both dancing and music in together, dancing, music, acting.
Oh, okay.
I tak ada soalan. I think that's all from
Oh,
me.
actually, like I was mentioned on the first floor. That's why I want to add like a space for the music for learning about the tools and singing maybe. And also there's also like another room to studying about dancing, right? And I think like what you mentioned about combining is like on the rooftop. I also have mentioned before that maybe on the rooftop there is a show for the event, or yeah, maybe both of the user of the dancing users and also the people who study about music gathering around in here and studying about their interests, something like that.
This more like not traditional one lah eh.
Yes.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, Abi. I think the one that you have done here is more on your final product for your design intent, right? You are preparing something for your painting, is it?
Yes, I think that's there.
Uh, because I think it is quite jumping into conclusion. For instance, we usually start with the site synthesis. What are the things which is lacking there? For instance, you were saying about the music center and the dance center. It is not there yet. But do you really study about Pontian itself? Do they really need this kind of dance center, for instance? Okay.
Okay,
That's why
doctor.
we need to be more. I think because this our focus is more on the social culture of Pontian itself, right? So that's why this one is also the same thing. We need to go backward, and then perhaps it is not a dance center. You may do this dance center, but is there really needed by Pontian people, for instance, or they do need something which is more on the performance art center, for instance, kan?
Okay.
So itu yang I cakap it is more jumping into conclusion. And then you have all this kind of first floor, you will want to do this ground floor plan, you want to do this. For all you know, I think if you go backward and then you research more on this one, perhaps this one can be changed later. Faham tak? That's why, like I said
Yes,
before, I don't want you guys to be mental block by providing all these things, but without the deeper research on it. For instance, like you said, you want to do something like this for your ground floor inside the building. It should be something like this one. But how does you relate back to the site? Okay,
okay, doctor.
faham tak Abi?
Paham, doctor.
For instance, because you are in Bali, right?
Yes, doctor.
Kan, Bali is very famous for its cultural thingy. How do they promote all these cultural things to the visitors, for the tourists and so on. So they try to figure out what are the things that are their strength, and then they want to show to the world what do they have, something like that. And yours is the same thing. You are talking about Pontian, and then what are the things that Pontian want to serve to the visitors, for instance. Okay, that one is not clear yet in your proposal. It's
Okay,
okay.
doctor.
It is interesting to see the people movement. You want to do something like it can be something like painting. You have all this pattern and so on. That one is interesting, but perhaps the research too, it should be deeper,
Okay, doctor.
right? And then should be deeper and should be related back to Pontian. If not, it is something like how if we take this proposal, we put it in Bali, for instance, can we got the same thing? Yes, right. Because the Pontian itself too, the you don't really talk about Pontian and then how you synthesis from the site inventory and site analysis that you guys have done before this. Okay,
Okay, doctor.
contact we. And then even the sketches of the building image, is that the that's why yang ni I takut ni. Is
Ah,
I mean I don't want you guys to be mental blocked by this one. because you are only you don't really see the context, right? Because you are only providing this image of the building. But how about the adjacent building, for instance? How do it looks like? And then even the sea level, for instance, how do this building look alike in this context? And then how does it relate back to the jetty, boat jetty, and so on? Yang tu, that one I cannot really relate yet, right? So
Okay.
that's why you need to, you kena ni step backward, alright, and then you see first how you want to fix this thing, okay? And then where's your site synthesis tadi?
Saya belum ada yang salah doktor, so it's not done yet.
That's why I talk about jumping into conclusion. You doesn't
Yes.
have the site synthesis, but you already have the design. And then if I want you to change the design, yang tu nanti later you akan create the mental block tu, because you already have this kind of shape and then you don't really want to change it. Tapi if you go deeper after this, if you go to your site synthesis, perhaps it can be very contradicting from whatever you have provided here. Okay?
Okay, doktor.
So itulah, you go deeper on your research, and then perhaps you can change your product later, your final product later. Okay? So you kena buat lagi yang studies tu. Yang tu tak nampak lagi, right?
Okay, doktor.
Okay. Okay,
Thank
Abi.
you, doktor.
Alright. Okay. Mirza, is it? Guys?
Yes, it's supposed to be Mirza's thing.
I cannot hear you, Mirza. Are you talking? Tak dengar lah, Mirza. Is it only me? Or memang
Hello,
tak dengar?
doktor.
Yes.
Dengar doktor. Sorry doktor.
Dengar.
Saya boleh letak dalam Miro tu. Boleh tak? Boleh tak kalau satu dulu? Ada satu-satu tu volunteer boleh.
Dia letak kat mana?
Tak, saya nak sini tadi. Lepas tu file large juga. So nak kena escape balik jadi CSS4 untuk install. Untuk install. So see.
Okay. Siapa next? Awin.
Ya, saya.
Awin lah dulu.
Saya dulu. Okay. Nampak ke doktor?
Yes.
Okay. Alright, so good evening to all. Okay, I'll start with my site synthesis. Alright, okay, so the first one is going to be, this one is going to be covering regarding the location, circulation, and accessibility to the site. So this one I take the location map with the radius of 500, I think. Okay, so so this one is based on my site synthesis, right? The individual one. So this one is the okay. So this one is the main road that which is one way entrance from the Jalan Delima from the main road. this one is the only route that can be accessed to the site, and also it's one way, so that people gonna come just from this side. There's no gonna be other side unless that day, just from there. Okay, so so it's a one-way street from the main road Jalan Delima to Jalan Delima 13, which is this one, Jalan Delima 13, and this one. Okay, so as for the location, sorry. Okay. Sorry, wait on. Okay. So as for the location, there's for me it's a lack of attraction near the site. There's not so much things to do except for the night market here at the Tambak, and also for people who decided to walk along the beach. Only that. Also that's going to be only during the evening. So it's a lack of attraction. And then for the traffic, it's heavy traffic only during the evenings as people go to the Tambak Tambak Pontian. And for the pedestrian, and also it's lack of pedestrian walkway or and there's no bicycle lane provided there. So pedestrian walkway just from here, and also it's uncovered. So if there's going to be a heavy weather like raining or what, people is not going to be pedestrian. It's hard for them to access our site as it's uncovered, only covered by the canopy of the tree. And then okay, also this is the like the site. And then what I intended, what my approach is to propose entrance, and okay, this one is the proposed entrance and proposed exit that I want to propose based on the direction, based on the circulation of people going to decide which one is this one, which this is going to be the entrance for them, and then maybe here's going to be the drop-off area, and then people can exit, and then they can go to the main road back to the Jalan Lima, or they can access from the side to the Tambak Pontian parking over there at the jetty. And then I will also like to propose a pedestrian entrance to the site, since there are existing pedestrian. I mean, here is the existing pedestrian, right? So maybe here is going to be a covered pedestrian entrance for them that can be accessed from here. And also to propose a bicycle lane for people who like what I know here is going to be there's many shop lots, and also there's a bus stations, and here at this shop lots there's going to be a tuition center. So probably students who doesn't use car, they use a bicycle lane, or for locals that didn't use any cars or walking, so I'm going to propose a bicycle lane that can be accessed to the site. And then also to limit vehicle access to the site, to promote a healthy lifestyle by walking or by using bicycle. By that I mean car can only enter the site by using the entrance and then exit. There's not going to be any drive way at the back of the site. And then okay, and then that's all. Move along to the neighborhood context. As I check the our site analysis, most of the building there is a modern building, but without any identity. Like there is no specific identity of maybe a Gothic style of architecture. No, there's just a modern building, modern commercial building. And also as for the spaces, this lack of a proper space or a proper public spaces, whether it's indoor or outdoor, for people to like gather to do any activities, except for like only a few benches here along the beach, and one like a pondok. But yeah, that's all. It's not so proper. Also, people came here for to watch the view, as it the Tambak Pontian view. based on the pictures Syami, Pudin and Ain showed, they just like lepak and watch the view by maybe in their car, outside of their car, but there's no specific like spaces, proper spaces for them. And then okay, and also there's a many existing parking lot near the site. We have here, here and here, also here. More than 50, I think. And then what I intended to do was as I said before, there's no like spaces. Maybe I can provide a indoor or outdoor gathering spaces with a with a view. As we can see, as we all know, our site is like facing a very beautiful view of Tambak Pontian. We are also a corner lot site, so it's a advantage for us. And then move along to the sensory and views. From our side, we have a few positive and negative views, which is yeah. So as for this side, facing the Tambak Pontian here, the west from west, we have sea view also from this one. We have sea view and landscape of the existing trees. But as for this part, we don't have any view, only a vacant lot here, or if there is no future development, we just gonna, the view is just gonna be these existing shop lots and maybe this landscape of there. And also as for the noise, we have plenty of noises coming from the vehicles and also from the boat, but not every time or not every hour, just maybe a specific time during the morning or during the evening as the fishermen come back from fishing. And then as for the smell, there's a unpleasant smell based on the analysis. So there's a bit of unpleasant smell of and the fish from the fishermen, or like there's also a bit of rubbish here and there as people throw rubbish not proper. And then for the condition of the site could be a bit muddy during rainy days as it's a tambak, so it's not a proper cement area. And then okay, based on the view, maybe okay, for this view, maybe we can provide the main public spaces. Like I say, I want people to enjoy the view while interact with each other. And also this one can be the entrance, as I propose the entrance and the exit there. And also this one could be the private spaces or service area, like toilet, store, staff area, service road, refill chamber and else. And also this one could be a main public space for the building. Move along to the sun path, wind direction and landscape. The sun path is mostly covered. It's covered outside, but only from west to east. But we have a kind of plenty amount of wind direction from the north and south. So okay, so yeah, and because of that, we can use this sun path and wind direction for the building orientation. As like I said, we can emphasize the view of the sunlight, but also we can or we can make like an open courtyard or open space at the middle to make use of the wind direction that come to our side, instead of use a fully air conditioned building. Maybe we can provide a natural ventilation building instead of to promote sustainability. Okay, and that's all for my site synthesis. As for the issues, okay, okay, I'm sorry, I spent a lot of time thinking about the issues and target users and all. So what I got is okay, as we all know, people is really affected since the pandemic, since the end of 2019, and we all know, so there's a lot of IG businesses, Shopee and else, as people the locals start to start their own businesses in order to survive. How they start is they start with small business like selling vegetables, local foods, organic chicken, meat, organic milk from their own produce. I think this can be found anywhere. I mean, like people who lose their job or they tend to make this, or if they're not people who own who own the vegetables or who own the farm, they be the like agent that bawa the produce to another place and sell them. It's basically the same. And also they usually people who sell these things, they only sell at the along the roadside, small store, night market, or like pasar. They have no proper space, or they have no like um and what they did is not as their main income, like they did as their side income or part-time job, or like they're not doing the like agriculture or selling these things is their major income, or their like their own main work like that. Okay. And so why is that? Because they didn't have the proper knowledge regarding the agriculture. And also, and because of that, people they jadi macam not confident enough to make agriculture as their main income, because they still think jam this thing is not enough. They still need another income to survive, right? Okay, so and the other issues is it's not issues, it's a supporting um isi untuk support dia tu is agriculture is a high demand job, but less young people have a background from agriculture. Also, in Pontian, not specifically at the Tambak Pontian, but in Pontian, there are many agriculture supplier. Macam they sell like equipment, land shops, but no place for like benda tu ada, but that is for the elderly, like macam for people yang dah kerja, but for the young adult, they have no proper knowledge about the agriculture. Macam like there's a job, there's a space for them. Like there's a the industry is there, but to attract young adult, to attract the youth to untuk berkecimpung dalam benda tu, like there is no reasons for them. So what I wanted to do is to promote the agriculture industry, or to attract them to attract them in doing this thing like that. Because if I'm not mistaken, I searched, there's a lot of like people in Pontian also, many of them like they have they do agriculture, like they farming as their, like they do that thing. Macam it's not the unusual things lah, but to attract the young adult is hard. So they need something in order for them to join the industry. So my intention is to promote the agriculture, but there's still I still need to do a research and all regarding that. I think as for my design intention, I want to bring in the traditional and modern element into the building. Maybe by combining the Johor traditional architecture and the modern architecture, like the special arrangement, maybe the traditional special arrangement can be implemented in the new building that I wanted to make, as in the floor plan or else, and then also nature and sustainability, as to attract people to come to the site, not just only an empty building, just a concrete solid building. We still need to have a nature and sustainability. And also I want to interaction between users. I want everyone in the building like every spaces they can interact with each other. Like it's not a like one space is just for one space. It's actually connected to each other. And then also because of this building, these areas there's no like specific identity. So I want this building as a new landmark and to bring identity to Tambak Pontian. And also I want to make this building is suitable for future, not only for these 2 or 3 years, but maybe for a long time. So I'll provide a multi-purpose space or anything that can be used not only for agriculture like what I said, maybe it's going to be flexible and timeless. And also this one is just like I said before, to limit basic access into the site. I mean like basically to promote sustainability, healthy lifestyle and agriculture to the youth. Okay, that's fine.
All right. Thank you. Hazmi,
Yes, doctor.
please ask a question.
Okay. Can you zoom into the how about the form? How about the form of the building?
Still don't have yet. I'm still searching regarding the issues and the site synthesis and intention. I don't have any proper, I'm sorry, but I don't have the precedent study and the form or the concept yet, but I only have the idea of what I wanted to do.
So
But I'm still
based
searching in details.
on the idea, you want to do an agriculture center, is it?
It's not only agriculture. Agriculture is a big scope. If you like narrow down, it's going to be agriculture can be sustainability, can people can learn about the economical and else, not just agriculture lah. But basically that's the idea lah. I want people to learn about that.
All right. Okay.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
Can you pick anybody else?
Pick anybody else? Siapa eh? Saifuddin dah. Pilih dah. Abi. Abi.
Abi, the chosen one. Abi? Abi tak ada. Where are you, Abi? Alright. Okay. Can I ask you guys a question? Because I'm looking at the site. Can you zoom into the site? Awin. I'm just wondering how does we came up with this site? Why it doesn't facing over there? I also forgot lah.
Kenapa tak melintang kan, doktor?
That's why,
I
Because
tak tahu.
I think this one when you want to do your entrance later, it is quite difficult because you have this side and then you have this side and then you have this side. There will be triple entrance. How do you how we decide this side before this? I also forgot this one. What
Puding
do you
sebab
guys think?
tak cukup panjang Macam mana boleh ada tu?
Majority.
Apa dia?
Sorry?
Majority.
Sorry?
Majority.
Majority select this orientation
Yes.
I'm asking you now. Do you want to change the orientation?
Can doktor?
Yes, you can.
If you want to change the orientation, then you need to redo your site inventory and site analysis. Just the orientation only. But other things can maintain.
Can doktor?
But it needs cooperation from everybody lah, because you need to redo your site inventory and analysis, because that one hasn't been submitted, right?
Yeah.
That one, the submission will be on the 2nd of December. Okay. So can you manage, if you want to change the orientation, can you manage that?
If we change the orientation, it's not okay for this board. It's just gonna be pusing sikit kan. There's no much different, right?
That's why I'm asking everybody.
Oh,
Are
yeah.
you okay if we change the orientation? Curly, what do you think?
Probably.
I very accept because I already designed a little bit while planning is quite difficult actually.
And also, doctor, can we avoid the trees? Because the tree memang cannot
Cannot
cut
remove,
down, right? So if we stick to the tree, right, we macam tak ada space lebih untuk design apa-apa.
No. Like this. Because before this, on the brief, we said that it is 20 meter times 50, right?
50, yeah.
So how many square meters?
15 now.
15?
Oh.
150.
Yeah.
Okay. What is the length in this one all over? For instance, facing this until, sorry, you zoom in sikit. But this one I need everybody's punya comment. If want to change, everybody's need to change. Because this one is a big decision, but I think it is better if we only focusing on facing this way and also this way, rather than you need to have this three views.
Entrances.
Cuba you tengok, you zoom in sikit.
This one.
Sorry, zoom out. Zoom out. Okay. If we take from here until here, this one ada drainage kan hari tu? Siapa tu? Udin?
Tu ada longkang sebab tu kita tak
Okay.
ambil.
Kita ambil sampai longkang tu. This one berapa? This one berapa?
Syami.
Total length tu 55. So yang tu kita ambil 25 je kan, Pudin?
Yang tepi
Yang
tu
merah. Yang merah 25. So 55 tolak 25 lah panjang yang tinggal. Tu doktor nak panjang yang full.
Sampai longkang tu. This one is drainage kan? What I'm saying is if you just orientate this one but you still get 1500, it's okay.
Still can get better.
So that's why I'm asking, do you want to orientate this one? If you want to orientate, to change the orientation of our site, then everybody need to redo your site inventory and site analysis. Are you okay with that?
Doctor, I think I am agree for this statement lah because now very hard to design. Yeah. And
Yes.
the view is blocked by I think the shout out the view is not good at that. So maybe face to the most of the view, most of the sea is more better lah.
Because I'm also see Awin is struggling because you will put the entrance over there and then you want the view over here. So where's the backyard, for instance, right? So okay, how many of you agree if we change the orientation? You can put the reaction. Okay, ataupun you raise hand over here. I just want to count.
Since there's not so much to change, I think it's okay for me lah.
Okay. Siapa setuju raise hand? One, Udin.
Mana nak raise hand?
Kat bawah tu.
Tak, so because I'm sharing. Okay, tak apa, doktor consider me too.
Okay, 2. Udin, Awin. How about Abi?
Doktor tak nampak saya angkat tangan ke?
Nampak.
Okay.
Ain? Okay, 3. Kelly.
Saya pun dah angkat tangan.
4. Siapa tu? Saya siapa? Amir. 5.
Doctor, saya also.
Siapa tu? Chevy.
Also,
Yeah.
Check. Kelly,
E.
okay. I think boleh lah. Kita tukar je lah. Boleh.
Boleh,
Because you
boleh.
haven't submitted this one, but I need cooperation from everybody to change all this presentation board. Okay? Sambil-sambil you tukar colour air ni hari tu, kan kita suruh tukar warna biru. Ni, this one. Right? But please change this one. But make sure that everybody get this one. 1500. Okay? This one is better orientation because you can focus on this side and also this side. Two only, right? If you do this way, you have triple entrance. That one is very, I think because you are only in your second year, susah lah. Okay? So boleh Boleh. Setuju buat thumbs up. I tak percaya kat you all ni. Kan tiba-tiba you mengadu masa portfolio. Alright, okay. Right, okay, thank you. So okay, so we are agreeing on change back the orientation of this site, and also you need to redo your presentation board before the submission. Alright? Okay, janji
Janji.
Right, no problem. I janji.
Alright, okay, so we change this one. As long as you get this 1500. Let's say this one is 30. If you get this 130, how do you want to get this 1500? Kena bahagilah 30 tu. Nanti siapa buat ni? Siapa buat cat? Awin.
Awin.
So Awin, you kira balik area tu, alright? And then make sure that it is oriented this way. Okay, it is better that way. Okay. So alright. Comment for Awin lah. Okay. I think you have done the site synthesis, which is okay. But alright. Apa tadi soalan I? The first thing you were talking about the business, and then you suddenly come into the agriculture. How do you relate both things? You were talking about Shopee, Lazada and something, and then suddenly you jump to agriculture. Okay.
Okay.
So how do you relate both things?
Okay, how do I read it? Okay, sekejap. Okay, business what business they did is one of, agriculture is one of the business they did. Like that.
Do they sell the things in Shopee? I think tadi I dengar you cakap Shopee lah.
Oh no, the Shopee is like example. I say example of what people started to do since they lose their job, and one of them are like what they did in Shopee, Lazada, and else. And one of them is like they started like to sell these organic things, vegetables, and else. Macam Shopee kisah contoh.
Okay. But you need to look at the bigger scope about the agriculture in Pontian. For instance, what are the main plantation that they have there in Pontian? Apa tu? Apa?
Main
Jawapan dia apa? Main plantations. What is Pontian is famous for?
Nenas.
So Nenas is one of the main thing that can attract people to go to Pontian kan? Because of its tanah gambut and so on. So you need to dig more on the agriculture part of Pontian.
Okay.
Ya, ni dia quite, the point is there, but it is not strong enough to justify the selection of your learning center, the type of learning center that you have selected. Okay. So and then how do you relate this agriculture learning center to the seaside?
Oh yeah.
That one is quite tricky because you were talking about the agriculture. Perhaps you want to do something like hydroponic thingy over here, but please relate back to the sea views. Itulah. Itu pun that one is quite a challenge for you lah. Okay. or or you just want to build this learning center next to the sea just because you want the view, but how does it relate back to the pertanian and so on? Okay.
Okay.
Yang tu still lacking.
Mm-hmm.
New landmark for Tambak Pontian, that one can be related. For instance, the landmark that they have is Nenas is their main economy, for instance. So that's why it has something to do with Nenas and so on. But this one is you need to do the research. I also really want to know about the agriculture at Pontian. Alright. Apa tu? Comments on your presentation board. I think the color scheme for road and sea study, that one is only draft kan?
Yeah. Which one? This one?
No, because you are using that kind of colors.
No, this one is contoh je. Nak contoh putih.
Alright. Okay, and then you need to stress more on the social culture of these people.
Social culture.
Okay, the surround your site. Yang untuk penerangan mengenai site tu, like I said before lah, your synthesis is more on it can be any learning center. But how does you relate back to your agriculture ni? Okay, like I said yang macam tadi tu, you were saying this one is the best view that they can get, for instance. But if I want to put music center by Abi over here, kan the same thing kan? So yang tu lah dia punya penerangan. This one, the location, sensory views, you have all these things, but it can be also any type of learning center. So you
Scope down
into agriculture terus yang ni.
Okay.
Macam mana nak relate? Okay?
Alright.
So okay lah, itulah yang you kena tambah. But the flow of the research is there. Maksudnya you study those site synthesis, so you all, it is for everybody. You need to really know about your site, okay, before you proposing something. Because if you are going to build this building, it will be last for, let's say, 50 years over there, kan? So you need to know the surrounding of your building. Okay, right, Awin? So
Right.
okay, everybody, we need to change we need to rotate your site tu. Later please PM me on the new, ataupun nanti you tunjuk dekat WhatsApp group the new oriented site. Can. Okay, before we proceed with everybody. Right? Okay.
Okay.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Dr.
Right.
Doktor Azmi akan share screen.
Siapa tu? Miza, okay.
Saya Miza.
You see the topic, socio-culturally responsive architecture for our semester. So that one is really crucial in our semester. Okay, that's why you need to really know who are what are the things happening around your site. Okay, right.
Dah share kan ni? Okay. Tapi Doktor sebab berat, so tak boleh. Okay, so I would like to present on my site synthesis. So from the brief, what I see is okay, we need to design a social cultural responsive architecture, and we need to design a learning center. Generally, we know that we need to design learning center, but in order to design, we still need to design an interesting space like multi-purpose room or outdoor common space, restaurant or cafe, and also special spaces for my building. So from the site synthesis, firstly about the background of Tambak Pontian, like we know that is at the seaside area, and has been reclaimed as a center of trading place and business area at the year of 2001, and it also became a main attraction for tourists as the place is huge and full of tranquil scenery. So the most visitor is almost is a tourist. So it also as a be a landmark of content trade center, and a place it is a place for major business and recreational area. Okay, and what we can see for the future development is about agricultural collection and marketing center. So it's about marketing center and also about a public market green building. So it has mentioned about the green building for me. And for the architecture style, it has two, which is modernist style and industrial style. And mostly is modernist style instead of industrial style. Which is in the system only at the futsal court. And for the climate and physical characteristic, so we can see the orientation, the sun path, and the wind flow, which is the most uh, high high strong wind flow from the north, and yes, the three-story shop lot, so it's quite high from our focus building design, which is only 2 story. And the pedestrian walkway, you see the yellow line, and the the tree, the only tree at our side is Casuarina, and there is a sea and also minor road. So our our potential access is a minor road. And okay, so for the climate, we can see the rainfall. The most with the most rain is November with an average rainfall, and the least rain is September is in September, and the temperature of the proposed site area is typically from 25 to 28 Celsius, and it's really below 22 above 30, so it's not too hot. And okay, we can see the shadow casting possible issue in the future. So we can see the highest range of the shadow casting is in December, which is itu cuti panjang cuti sekolah, and a tranquil, peaceful and relaxing fishing spot. The tree block direct sunlight with beautiful shadow of branch flickering. So dia maksud tempat ni lebih pada saya lebih sesuai untuk dijadikan satu tempat destinasi percutian. Jadi oleh itu saya memilih untuk mengetengahkan tentang culture and human activities. So currently the COVID-19 pandemic drastically impact the new norm lifestyle to the society. This area is still recovering to bring back the past, which was lively with local events such as fishing competition and also communal work. So I think the community at the Pontian, the Pontian is very strong. So I want to tribute their culture to my proposed design. The population distribution is the ethnic. We can see the most highest rank is Bhumiputra, and then Chinese, and then Indian. And for activities, we can see the sightseeing is the highest, then fishing, and then working and shopping. So mostly people come to the site to sightseeing, to come and relaxing their mind and get their quality time. And human activities we can see generally at 8 a.m. The market start operating, and then people start come to the area to exercising and other activities, and then mostly for the lunch hour, they also have a sightseeing and stall start opening, and then at the 5 p.m. start and exercising, and then at 7:30 p.m. night market start operating, and at 8:30 p.m. relax with simple entertainment. So we can see how much love of the people to the resort to exercising, or or make the site being their main destination to the relaxing their mind. So we can see the potential access only one way. We can see from the right, the height access, and then that is one way. And we can see the popular times. The popular times mostly in Saturday. So at Saturday. So this means mostly it will be it is become the most it is become the satu tempat destinasi percutian berbanding dengan sesetengah golongan yang memancing. Tak semua golongan pandai memancing. Jadi untuk exploration spot, high visibility for the user to notice the proposed site, and the weakness is lack of pedestrian walkway and bicycle lane. And also about the opportunity is busy road at the corner of the site, so we can attract more people. And the rate is blockage of cars parking by the road, site the access for users, so it is about the safety. So to make so disebabkan itu saya pilih untuk buat satu art center, culture and art center while learning. So jadikan dia sebagai satu tempat destinasi yang fleksibel untuk semua golongan. Jadi so for the concept, it start from I want to implement the element of reflective, and then it become unity, and then it's bonding, which is reflective is dia macam bangunan kita, dia reflect dengan side surrounding, so dia menjadi satu. Bila dia reflect, so impact positif dia tu dia akan menjadi satu, menampakkan satu dan saling memerlukan. Jadi macam mana itu saya gunakan nature features like the sun and landscape. So tambak Pontian ini akan jadi lebih cantik kalau dia target kalau user ataupun penduduk tempatan situ ataupun turis kat situ datang ke building saya dan gunakan. So bagaimana the sun, so how to use the sun is by the lighting and mirror, so ia akan beri kesan glare. So sebagai contoh, kita tengok pada gambar yang atas, gambar ada yang waktu malam, kita tengok yang atas ni, atas sikit ni, atas. Yang kita tengok gambar yang orang buat tangan love tu, so dia macam tu. So building saya dia akan ada satu circular element yang akan pantulkan reflective of the sunlight, dan dia akan menjadikan pemandangan di Tambak Pontian itu akan nampak lebih cantik. Dan kenapa bonding? Disebabkan fokus design building saya itu membuatkan site surrounding di situ nampak lebih menarik dan unity. Dan tak ada building saya hilang seri pada tempat tu. Sini bawah sekejap.
Tak ada building awak hilang seri tempat tu?
Maksudnya macam tu lah, kiranya dia bonding dia. Sebelum ni okey dan cantik dah, tapi adanya building saya mencantikkan lagi. So bila tak ada, so dah tak ada dah aktiviti ataupun culture baru yang saya maksudnya dari segi fotografi ataupun tempat untuk terapi minda. So dah tak ada benda tu bila tak ada building saya nak try lah. And then so how ni is the interaction, and then flexibility of age, flexibility of circulation, flexibility of program, and also the circular and reflective is about how the building works to the surrounding and to the human movement. And so at morning, when the sun rise, it will be a shading for my special spaces or my open outdoor space. And at evening, the space will be brightening, also the building. And at night, the building will be illuminated. Then, for my Precedent Study, the first Precedent Study is in Malaysia, is Gamuda Learning Center at Klang Valley. So it just won the Public Interest Place Award, beating out the other Asia Pacific nomination at the 2018 International Properties Asia Pacific Award. And then the element that they use is interaction, flexibility, and collaboration. So I got the idea from the Muda concept, and then that's the key words that drive the design. So we can see they using the vibrant color, bold shape, and exposed ceiling. The space offer element of surprise while encouraging exploration and interaction for creative learning. So yeah, this Precedent Study I use for research about the design principle and the motif of decoration. And we can see for the Gamuda Learning Center, they provide flexibility in terms of how and where people study, relax, and gather. Also, certain spaces also use lighting with minimal glare and shadow casting for improved comfort level. So this is for the indoor spaces. And they design the tree, which a space for people to mingle during break, and the overhead design be an inviting space for conversation and collaboration. So dia menjadi satu tanda mercu tanda maksudnya, ataupun satu 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 benda yang akan create satu space tu dan sampaikan message untuk orang apa kuat kukuh lagi komuniti dia orang, ataupun macam nak cakap macam dia ada pokok ni, mesti satu pokok ni buatkan dia orang adanya benda tu, so orang rasa macam ini satu tempat untuk berteduh, dan dengan susun atur kerusi yang disediakan semuanya akan buatkan mereka saling refleksi. Jadi dia akan cipta sebenarnya satu conversation lah. And the space utilize bright color, middle board, mobile seat, and bold shape for its design to create an inviting ambience. And panoramic writing surface, encouraging sharing and discussion. So this mean that sekeliling bangunan diorang, so diorang sediakan satu surface yang boleh diconteng. So boleh diconteng, so dengan tu siapa-siapa saja yang rasa ada benda, ada perbincangan nak bincang, ataupun dia bebas memilih di mana dia conteng dan untuk berbincang lah, untuk penggunaan perbincangan. So dia flexible. And the spaces accompanied by geometric wall, floor, and ceiling pattern give result in pleasant yet energizing environment. And the display of this shape design abstract symbol of birds in flight. So it's about the philosophy dalam satu perpaduan. And for the second design principle, it's about the creative spatial planning and design. So I'm sorry, that's a mistake for the topic. And the Hebrew Language Academy is
Laju sikit Nizam.
Oh, okay. So untuk yang kedua ni, so saya lebih memilih pada cara cara dia main upper level, lower part and upper part, and the circular shape, circular circulation, walaupun dalam bentuk tetap. Dan bagaimana dia relate dengan ground terus ke atas dan ke bawah so dia fleksibel. Waktu malam pun kita boleh tengok macam mana dia gunakan open space dia tu dan gunakan fasad tu sebagai satu panel untuk dia orang sebagai TV. Dan kita tengok tu cara dia design proses dia, circular flow massing and flexible access and optimum green surface, ventilate and shading. So ini adalah ciri-ciri yang saya akan cuba terapkan pada design saya supaya dia dapat satu dengan landscape yang ada pada Tambak Pontian. Dan yang ketiga adalah tentang cerita tentang spatial. So bagaimana bangunan baru, bangunan lama, existing building itu dia renovate dengan satu ciri architecture style yang baru iaitu modern, tetapi ia mencantikkan lagi, menyerikan lagi existing building tu dan menampakkan existing building tu menjadi satu bangunan yang lebih ikonik. Dan kita tengok dia juga implement vegetation and landscape as a major part to its view of the building. Terima kasih.
Right. Ami, do you have a question for Mirza? Ami, are you there?
Yes, Doktor, jap. Okay. Mirza, sorry ya.
Tak apa.
Macam mana art tu?
Apa?
Art, kau buat art learning center kan?
Okay, yes.
Macam mana tu reflect social culture at Tambak Pontian or the whole Pontian? Adakah art center tu reflect tak?
Mirza dengar tak?
Hello, sorry doktor, terkeluar.
Oh.
Aduh. Okay, macam mana art tu reflect pada?
Reflect pada punya ni learning center.
Learning center.
Learning center pula. Pontian.
Okay, art tu sebabnya art ni art ni satu bidang yang umum yang dia jadi satu situasi mana satu bidang yang dia mencantikkan apa-apa saja tajuk ataupun apa-apa saja bidang yang lain, skop yang lain. Jadi bila kita buat art ni dia lebih mudah untuk kita dekat dengan masyarakat, dengan komuniti situ. Kerana art kita boleh cerita tentang apa-apa saja, tentang sejarah atau tentang agriculture kawasan Pontian atau asal usul Pontian, dan dengan cara kita gunakan fundamental of art and science gunakan so kita boleh implement apa-apa saja jenis ilmu dalam art. So dia lebih mudah untuk kita nak dekat dan kuatkan lagi masyarakat komuniti situ.
Okay.
Okay, Mirza nanti you kena control your presentation. Perhaps you just pick up yang important point. For instance, nanti untuk project 2B, we will have 2 external examiner together with your work-based master. Okay, and then we also usually we will limit your time for presentation. For instance, only for 50 minutes. So the presentation strategy is also important for the panel to pick up the important points. Alright, and then are you here?
Yes, doktor.
Okay.
Kami ikut.
Okay, this presentation board, I think yang atas tu kan, for instance, you were talking about the rainfall and temperature and so on. How does it relate back to your site synthesis? Is there anything that you want to do in relation to that?
Yes, it's about how the design approach lah. So kalau kata saya nak buat open space yang terlalu banyak, so saya akan tengok kekerapan hujan ataupun gunakan green roof ke apa ke, jadi saya kena consider pada kadar serapan air ke apa ke.
So perhaps if you want to take up important points like this, you terus masukkan the synthesis. For instance, okay, let's say the rainfall is here, how many rainfall and the temperature. But this thing dia quite general sebenarnya. Dia bukan dekat Pontian je kan. It is all over Malaysia, right? For the temperature, for instance. So yang tu dia because it is general, so dia tak specifically related to your site. That's why not only your presentation, verbal presentation, even the boards pun you kena take up important points that you want to highlight. Okay? On the view is okay, and then on the shadow casting is okay. Perhaps you want to talk about this tree which is located macam you nak tunjuk highest range of the shadow casting. That's why dia punya building nanti akan orientate this way because of you want to avoid sun directly to your building later kan. Yang tu boleh, tapi perhaps you terus masukkan macam shadow casting and then you macam explain dekat that side the location of the trees is planted over here and then how do you want to synthesize it. Okay, and then your building orientation will be rotated that way, for instance, or your entrance will be rotated that way because of you want to enhance the shadow casting, for instance. Okay, so terus masukkan. That's why it is important that you put up the important
Sepatutnya
point.
masukkan dalam konsep punya tu, tapi saya tak sempat, so saya terus.
Kalau tak dia akan jadi macam you are repeating the same thing that has been presented by your friends during the site inventory and analysis. Kan? Yang tu yang dia jadi lama tu. Okay? So after this, yang tu you kena strategize on how do you want to present it. Even for your because yang untuk finance dia akan ada external panel. Okay, and then external panel they just want to hear the important points. How do you pick up from your previous presentation? Okay. And then the big thing here is what kind of learning center is this? Kenapa dia tak nampak sangat?
Saya tak buat, tak tulis.
That's why, yang tu yang sebenarnya yang tu. If you're talking about tadi nak buat apa sebenarnya?
Art and culture learning center.
So where's the word? Art and culture.
Saya tak tulis.
That one is the big thing. That's why, like I said, you need to know what is important to be included in your presentation. Kan? Macam you kata at morning shading, at evening brightening, at night illuminate. Is this your proposal ataupun everybody's macam building Curly pun akan jadi macam ni, building Chevy pun macam ni, Divya punya pun macam ni. Kan?
Semua sebab tu sketches dia tak ada. So kalau kita buat sketches dia akan lebih nampak kan sepatutnya.
So your presentation board ni all over dia macam quite general. Macam you kata an art center for instance. What kind of art? Apa relation dia dengan Pontian? Yang tu tak nampak because you were talking about all this rainfall, yang temperature tu pun dia tak ada kaitan. You terus masuk yang art tu. Okay. How does this art related to population distribution? Is there any? Kalau tak ada, you tak payah masukkan dalam you punya board because this one has been covered by site inventory dengan site analysis. Yang group work tu. Faham tak? Yang ni, this one. You nampak kan kalau I conteng? Oh, tak conteng Okay, yang population distribution, ethnicity, Burmese, Chinese, Indian, this one has been covered by your friends dekat group presentation. So you don't have to put all this thing here unless you want to do something which is related to this population. For instance, katakanlah, let's say this place is majority is Chinese people, and then you want to do something which is related to Chinese culture, for instance, and then you want to do something like yin yang, feng shui, and so on. Yang tu boleh. Tapi if there is no any specific
This punya rumah.
location, yes, you don't have to put it here.
Yes.
Okay, so I want you to stress more on the art tu, for instance. Kan, you
Okay.
nak buat art. Kenapa you nak buat art? Because of kat situ dia tak banyak lagi on art. And then they have a lot of cultural thingy to be preserved, for instance. But there is no any building which is related to the art and culture over there. So that's why you want to provide all these things, kan? So yang tu dia tak nampak lagi. Okay,
Okay.
so this one yang ni, I think everything we need to be revamped yang atas ni. You kena tengok balik yang mana yang kena masukkan, yang mana yang kena buang. Macam future development, agriculture. How does this one related to your art center? Is there any?
No, dia cuma macam guideline dia saya nak design, saya tu nak bagi buat saya, buat ni kan, saya tahu okay, yang ni saya kena video. Macam gitu je.
Macam architectural
saya tak
style. So, kalau ada kaitan boleh. Kalau tak ada kaitan, itu tak boleh masuk sini. Sebab dia dah covered by group work. Okay? And then your Precedent Studies. Precedent Studies, why does you talk about the motif and decoration? Because this one is art.
Sebab art and how macam mana kita nak emotion student situ atau visitor.
Cuma I tak faham apa motif decoration tu apa?
So, macam dia colourful, dia punya ball shape dia apa semua tu. Maksudnya
Are you talking about the interior design?
Yes.
I
Maksudnya dalam pertama dia dalam masa dia bahagian ni dia interior design. Tapi dia punya prinsipal dia pada saya boleh gunakan untuk building tu sendiri. Maksudnya nanti the form of the building ke, maksudnya kita boleh consider dari segi interaction, flexibility atau collaboration macam yang ni cuma sekarang dia guna indoor design sebab dia buat dalam satu bangunan besar. Dia dekat dalam tingkat 4 apa semua. So dia tak ada satu single building, dia bukan satu single building.
What I mean is the terminology that you use. For instance, motif and decoration, usually it is more related to the pattern, carving, macam tu, ragam hias. Okay, but I think what you are talking here is on the interior design, kan? The first one tu. Okay, yang tu kena check balik. Yang the second one pun you are using the same thing kan? Motif decoration.
Tak, yang tu saya cakap salah dia, sepatutnya yang tu spatial planning tu.
So that one is planning, and then the third one is the form. Is it?
The form of the circular plan tu lah. So saya nak study dia punya macam mana dia punya macam mana dia adapt existing dengan new building.
Okay. Okay, the first one is the local kan?
Local.
Alright. Tapi tak apa, I think you yang ni pun sama, you go backward, you study dulu yang synthesis tadi, and then you masuk yang you punya art tu, and then you kena tengok balik, is this the best key studies for your ni? Sebab you kena revise back whatever you have done yang before that. Maksudnya you punya Precedent Studies ni boleh tukar lagi. Mungkin lepas ni bila you jumpa yang betul tu kan, you dah betulkan dia punya flow of research tu, perhaps the second one tu is not suitable to be put there. For instance, okay, mungkin yang innovation yang France tu okay in terms of the form, nampak okay related to the art. Tapi sebab you belum kaitkan lagi dengan art tu, you kena study yang art dekat Pontian. Okay, what kind of art? Ataupun is there any place over there? Ataupun ada pelukis-pelukis and artist which is famous in Pontian? Who knows kan? So you study dulu all those things, baru you came up with these case studies. Alright? Boleh?
Boleh.
So Mirza kena tengok betul-betul you kena set up your presentation strategy tu. Kalau tak, dia macam banyak benda, kena tegur benda-benda yang general macam ni. Dia dah jadi tak fokus on your design. Itu sayang lah nanti. Alright? Okay. Okay Mirza, thank you.
Yeah, thank you Dr.
Right.
Alright, doctor, next is me. I'm Curly.
Okay.
Dr. Fat already sent you a link, our Miro link. Our chocolate cherry town. You can
Where is
see
it?
our at the chat box there.
I thought in WhatsApp. Okay.
Okay. Okay, good.
Pri-
Hi, good afternoon, everyone. Okay. Today I'm going to share my issue site and the site synthesis and also the design intention that I have made a research. Okay, slightly different with others. Mine is another way. It's totally different with others lah. So there was some research that I made about the criminal case in Pontian, Johor, and also Malaysia.
Where? Oh, okay. This one,
Okay,
right?
yeah, this one you can see from my press my up there
What is chocolate?
my view. Chocolate. No lah, my name is Chocolate. So here is my place. This one is my district.
Oh, okay. Your name
Cherry
is
is at
chocolate.
Cherry is at my Chinese name is Chocolate.
Okay. All right.
Okay.
Okay.
So based on my study at here, the crime index ratio for all state decline except for Pulau Pinang, Sarawak, and also Terengganu. But actually, criminal is at everywhere. So here you can see here
How about Johor or Pontian?
Johor, Pontian. Next I will say it about this one. I will mention it nanti lah. Okay.
Yeah.
So, but actually I was scoped into the Gejala Remaja, Gejala Social Remaja. Okay, recently the Johor Crops cooperate with UTM. This one, UTM. Actually, they crop with they have a cooperation with the UTM to organize an event called Majlis Pelancaran Modul Kesedaran Jenayah Kanak-kanak dan Remaja, MECA. They mentioned that the criminal rate of the adolescent, which is a teenager in Johor, is increased and more than last year. So thief, fight, and rape, and the blurry are among the most common crimes that are committed by the school student in Johor Bahru. Sorry, Johor, not Johor Bahru. Okay, so here the Dato Akok Khan Maidin Pichai, the he is the Johor police chief. He stated that 99% for those involved in the criminal activities were secondary school students aged 13 to 18 years old. So for Pontian, it seems like a very peace place, but actually what Chinese say, like my Chinese say lah, 有江湖的地方就有纷争. It means that the conflict will happen because we are not individual. So we are the society. So the conflicts and the criminal will always happen. So previously, they found out at they arrest a group of the drug criminals at November 11, 2021 at here. So actually because our site is very near the sea and very near the jetty there. So the jetty they got some drugs criminal issue at there. Yeah. So I will scope inside this one. But I think this is too general lah. But I will cope into the adolescents criminal in this project. So what is a criminal? The teenagers criminals that we say, at how we define it is a juvenile. Sorry, is under the Prison Act of 1995. The prisoner who is under the age of 21 years old, they will go to a school. They will go to a prison. It's called Henry Gurney School at there as a student. So means that before because they under this act, this Child Act and also this act, so they will go to another school. It's not a prison. Yeah. So based on my design, based on my research lah, the social debate among the juveniles start at the school age. At the initial state, they come out in the form of abuse of school rules such as smoking and vandalism. But at the end, they absent of the effective the measure of the curb and to overcome this problem lah. they become more serious as the criminal misconduct lah, such as bullying, injured to other rap, maybe rogo and theft also, and some is going more serious is murder. Yeah. So the effective prevention and the rehabilitation is very needed, as we call it. Rehabilitation is the thing sounds like very good lah, but actually the another word is prison. They will go to the prison to have some rehabilitation plan. This one is a PDF files at here. If you want to see that, you can see here they got the four phase for them to rehabilitate, which is the juvenile rehabilitation practice. First is the discipline building program, but I will not talk deeper for this one. I will talk deeper for this one. This one is a plan. Okay, after they enter the prison, and this is a program they will have the program after they enter the school, because school lah. Then for my project, I will come in this community, which is phase 4, which is which is here. Phase 4 community program. Work outside of the prison, living skills and income, sport and community activities outside to the prison, crime prevention activities. But my program, my things all is after you out to the prison, which are called overcare service that I will provide from them. Because after they come out to the society with the sufficient supply of the material and information, they were facing a lot of templing in society. So my idea is to guide them to the right path and help them return to their families and integrating into the society. So they might try to merge to the local normal people at there. This one is my idea concept, my main idea at there. So here is my aftercare service. So my aim is to reduce the recidivism. Okay, whatever. This means that to prevent they do another wrong again. So they must try to merge to the society. If they didn't merge to the society, they will do the same wrong again. Yeah. So to lower the rate of the recriminations of our country, so maybe we need some aftercare service to guide them how to merge inside the society at there. So this one is this one here is all the research that I done at there. So this one is the how we prevent lah. So why we need these things of why we need these things. So this one is my first idea. What I want to giving is aftercare service. Second is the cure mental illness. Because for the there's not official data on the mental health data of the prisoner in Malaysia, but then they looks a lot at there when you like have the you complete what you call when you have some the comparison between the worldwide and the Malaysia. So actually our prisoner at there, most of them got the mental illness. Yeah. Whatever although you already come out of prison, you still have the mental illness. I think this one will harm the society. So this thing, if you can cure, please cure it. You can't try to cure it. Yeah, cure to prevent the recrimination. Okay, so the third one is cure the trauma, because the condition at the prison is not good. Although a lot of blogs mentioned that the prison is a very good place, is our house, but actually after I made the research, the condition of the prison is quite terrible. Every year, about 300 prisoners will die at there. So prisoners have the high risk to have the body injured and also disease. So maybe these are cure the trauma at that. Maybe you will bully from the other. So this one will cure the trauma, whatever at there. Okay. before this one is my main idea. For my sub idea is for public. Okay, the aftercare is like the normal people come out from the prison, but actually they need some aftercare. But actually, public also can come to my this learning center. Okay, then I will give them this one, the things I will provide them of the trauma treatment. Because actually lah, for example, after you dibully oleh orang lain, you ada trauma kan. So maybe you can come to this place and you can learn from here to how to free up yourself, then how to don't be depressed, everything like that. Then how to learn to forgive all the things and free yourself. Freedom. This one is the ideal concept right here. Okay, so this one learning center is maybe it's the aftercare center, but I will change the name because this name is not good. This goal is getting the rehabilitation to a point that we can live and function on their own way lah. Yeah, so to the collective plans to support an individual during their early recovery and help them to prevent relapse while working on their new life. So we have the professional psychologist help. Yeah, the target user at that is 14 to 25 years old. Okay, all right. Then how we attract the people at there? Okay, firstly, I will have the conference hall inside there. We have a campaign at there. Maybe which we will have some performs and exhibitions. But actually, I will having a music performance class at there to what we need to teach them how this world is so happy, is so beautiful. So we need some art, the involved of art to tell them, oh my god, this world is so pretty. Why so we should not try to think about the bad things. We should think about the beauty of the world, maybe. Yeah. The moral class maybe this one you still I still think how to do this. Okay. For the location, I was thinking is a Pontian. It's a suburban area, so we have the low density, low population at there. Actually, the city associated with the high rates most of the mental problems are compared to rural areas is 40% high risk of depression. So this place is very relaxed place. It's a very beautiful and smooth place for somebody to heal their mind, the body, and their soul. It's suitable to have a learning, wellness, and relaxation center. Yeah, and this one is my description lah, my explanation. So there have a very good for our sea therapy. The sea is has been a very long time be a source of healing. Here you can press the you will have some kind of the explanation why the sea can help us in our psychology side. Okay, no cultural style significant at there. So we will feel more free during learning. You want to do therapy for every race lah. Macam lah, if I am the Chinese, I suddenly go to the Malay culture village, I will feel a little bit weird. But there you will not feel anything at there because there didn't have any cultural style significant. Yeah. They also lack of landmark at there. So what we call when people come, don't worry, it will become a landmark. So become a landmark, I got another point at there in my site analysis here. This is my site synthesis that I made at here. Okay, this one is I think they already mentioned all the things lah. So I will not repeat again. How about the sun orientation at there? But I will try to mention about how the sun orientations and the wind affect my design. Okay, previously this one is my idea that my option one for my ground floor, but at the end I changed because I think that here is a local authorities place and cannot better not touch them. Yeah, then here is the wind. I will have some wind maybe lah. But this one is my draft only. Yeah, secondly, I will have some things round about here, maybe round about. Comes in and comes out here. Then this one is my building. Actually, the first ideas is I want to widen enlarge the wide view to frame the sea at here. But actually comes out this one cannot touch it. Better don't touch here. So I become this one. But I think no cannot. I become this one. But I still pending yet because yeah, I still pending yet. Then now we can change our side. Maybe have a new another things. So this one is my sushi corner. Actually, this one if my building we might raise out because due to the high tides, we might raise out. And at the surrounding the neighborhood at there, all the buildings is about 2 double story. So if I raise out my building, I will become raise more higher because if I raise more higher, my building becomes significant. But there got some tree to block there. So maybe this one cannot use it, I think. Yeah. Before this one, I think this one maybe our circulation can it can under my building, but this still in my research. How can I assess the traffic density, high low, some things? Okay. Circulation here.
Okay,
Okay. For my yes.
Oh, sorry.
Okay. So my precedent study can I continue?
I want to know, this is a good study, but how do you differentiate between a rehab center and a learning center?
Oh, because I'm not like the rehab center. I just like a place to have the fun with each other. Then if you have some problems, you come here and we can help you.
There goes the fine line between, in this case, the rehab center and also the learning center. For instance, what do they study? Let's say you are providing them a seminar room. So what are the things they study over there?
Maybe is I maybe have the involve of the art lah. For example, maybe drawing, maybe have some music. I still research which one is more better because I'm searching a Pontian music, but I cannot find anything. And Pontian tarian, I cannot find anything. Yeah.
Oh, that's why how do you integrate with this thing, juvenile and learning center? I takut dia akan jadi ke arah rehab center.
Yeah. I pun takut just try
Yeah,
to
macam even
tarik
your
back. Yeah.
even your president studies, you are choosing a rehab center as your case studies kan?
Yeah.
So that's why I takut you apa tu?
Campur lah, cerita campur.
Termasuk line. Okay,
Okay.
because if we are talking only a learning center, it is a center like it just like a campus, for instance. We go there, we study about this thing and this thing, right? But yours, you have the specific target. For instance, people who are
Having
coming from
trauma.
So that's why lah you need to really look into the fine line, the thin line between these two, the rehab center and also the learning center. Okay?
Okay.
And even the program. The program is quite confused. Dia macam apa? You faham kan?
Yeah.
Dia
Quite
jadi some
confused.
yes.
I
I takut.
think here is a learning center to help people to learn the skill lah. For me, I scope this one lah. Yeah, this one is my first research subject. I will try to make inside the learning center.
I know you are very eager learning about this juvenile, the crime and so on. But that one is your target user, right?
Yeah. It's just my target user.
Okay, target user. And then you want to provide a learning center that they try to lift up their skill, for instance.
Yes.
Kan?
You're
Yang
right.
tu is
Because there,
better.
yeah, better. Because there got have the tanaman nanas, and there got fishing, then they can doing their business outside the learning center. There got the
Okay, so that
something.
one you should
Yeah.
be clear about that one is only your target user. Okay,
Okay,
but
target user.
It's not going to be a rehab center. It is only a place for them to upskill their uh to upskilling program. Okay, so it become a learning center. So don't be confused about that. All right.
Okay, alright, alright.
Okay, and then perhaps the Precedent Studies itself. I'm not sure what are you going to talk about this one yang rehab center ni.
Yo, I just talked about this one. I just talked about the layout here. The layout. What are you going to use the layout? Because this layout is very, very good. This one is a design thesis. And I can change it here.
Okay,
Design
but
thesis, yeah.
this one is rehab center, right?
Yeah,
So
rehab
that's why
center.
yang I takut you terjerumus ke rehab center tu, but we are on the learning center.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, yeah.
So your focus is more on the upskilling programs, and also perhaps they ada workshop ke something like that.
Yeah, workshop there.
Dia
Yes, workshop. Yeah, thank you, Dr. Fat.
it is not really like it is you have counselors to something like that, right? Kan?
Maybe.
Ataupun
Should
maybe
I have a
ada.
counselor there? Should I have a counselor there? For example,
Seorang boleh
giving
lah.
seorang boleh lah. A small corner lah, like this one. Okay? A small corner.
Yes. I don't want you to be confused with the rehab center. That's all. Okay?
Okay. Should I need to find a specific macam one art for them to learn or
You
whatever?
need to find a case studies talking about a upskilling program.
Okay. Alright.
Okay? So those people are only your target user. Okay.
Okay. Yeah, this thing is I also confused until now. Thanks, Dr. Fat.
This one is for master level usually. I know you are very eager learning new things and so on, but just don't get trapped into that. Okay, kalau tak
Yeah.
you pun pening. Kan?
Yeah, pun pening.
So this one you just study only, but your
Yeah,
case
study
studies
only.
tu cari yang lebih kepada learning center. More
Okay.
into the learning center. If not, nanti itulah. Nanti you
Yeah, I thought this one is very important for the furniture equipment that I find. How can I do this? How can I do this? What I need? The room size how? But okay, this one I choose to the learning center. Okay. It's okay.
Maybe you take the program from a learning center, but the way how do they arrange the furniture, that one can be taken from this thing.
Okay, alright.
Kan? Tapi you kena differentiate lah.
Okay.
Right?
No problem because I have Dr. Fan. Okay.
I pun pening.
Sorry.
Okay.
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 But the first present study I will not. Then but second present study. This one I will take the healing environment, how they do that. I think it's very good one.
And
Privacy
then
activity.
Okay,
I think I can use this.
Another thing Keli, because this semester is talking about the social culture kan.
Yeah.
You kena relate back dengan Pontian itself. That's why I'm asking how many teenagers dekat Pontian who are having this kind of problem, traumatic ataupun dia baru keluar dari prison. Do you have all this data? Sebab dia lebih kepada social cultural, so you need to talk more about the surrounding of this area too. Okay?
Oh, okay. But this area.
Sebab tadi when you talk about the crime and also and so on tu, you sendiri katakan dia general kan?
So, yeah, I think here can because Pontian they didn't have any data about this one, but actually the drugs problem is very very serious at there, right?
Okay,
very penting because they have the jetty at there, so they have some how they will get the drugs from the jetty there. They got some problems at there.
Do you have
but
the proof?
I didn't have the proof, but but because this thing they didn't the JB
it's okay.
They didn't have much mention about this one, but actually they mentioned that the Johor the drugs is very serious at that.
Okay, ataupun if you can find any newspaper article talking about Johor, yang tu pun dah at least it's scoped down. Okay.
Yeah, Johor ada. Johor ada. Tapi
If
Pontian tak ada.
itulah, if not, then you say jetty tu tempat orang trade apa tu drugs and so on. Suddenly yang people from Pontian marah you. How come you talk bad about us but without proof, something like that.
Oh, for the Pontian have the drugs things I already found it at here.
Okay lah. So at least you have.
They arrest, the police arrest them at November 11 there here. This one. See? This one. This news.
The one is Pontian, Johor.
This one is Pontian. Yeah, Pontian Johor.
Okay lah. So at least you have the proof. Stop. Okay.
Okay,
What
alright.
else? What else?
Okay, for my because I will leave out my building I think I will use this kind of the.
Alright.
Yeah. So I need to have the freedom from their mind lah. I think my thing is an open plan and not much of the window frame, because for the prison our first impression is got the like macam this one, like the cage. So to let them to free out their mind, to feel relaxed, I will use less window frame lah, complicated window frame lah. Just direct open like this. Yeah. And also the wind at there is I think it's quite windy. Yeah, I still need to have some research at there lah, about this kind of seaside design, which is this second prison study I made at here.
So another thing that you are missing is the learning center punya tu, case studies tu.
Yeah.
Like I said, yang upskilling programs tu.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Alright.
Kalau tak, you akan confuse. You akan buat satu rehab center. Nanti yang tu you masuk work base lain. Right. Okay, Kelly.
Okay, alright.
Right. I think good start, but you don't confuse yourself. Okay. You tengok balik. You need to read the brief and then find out ways how you want to tune into the learning center, not a rehab center. Okay?
Okay.
Alright. Okay. Thank you.
Alright. Thank you, Dr. Fat. Chevy is next to me.
Alright. Okay, Chevy.
Okay, I will share my screen. Wait, okay. Okay, so selamat sejahtera to everyone. So I am going to talk about my research. So for site synthesis, as a bit similar to everyone lah. Okay, the color tone of the neighborhood is very similar. So our timber material will make a contrast with the neighborhood context, and that's a lot of car parking around our site. Yeah, and then the vegetation. So to create, it's opportunity for us to create creative landscaping. And for the circulation, yeah, this is a bit similar to others people. And for the climate, yeah, because the sun orientation, so I'm decided to do the wait, I will explain later. Okay, so this is the sun orientation. So okay, so for the sensory, this is the best view to see the scenery view. And
but
so
later you'll need to change the orientation of the site,
yeah, doctor.
Alright.
Later I will change it. And then for my sword, this is just I think it's very general one. I will focus deeply later. Okay, for strength, yeah, the plenty of parking is a strength. And then this site is creating a maximum scenery appreciation space. So later on I can, like this part I can make maybe like lobby, or I haven't decided yet. So this is a strength lah. And then for weakness, this place, this area, and I can say Pontianak is lack of culture appreciation of Chinese culture. So there is also lack of culture communication between the citizen. And another weakness is the trees lah. Is we cannot cut down the trees, so it's quite limited for our design idea. So and then this place also lack of identity building in Pontianak, like other mentioned just now. And for the opportunity, so I have an idea to design a similar building like 四合院, like Chinese style 四合院. I will explain it in my Precedent Study later. So 四合院 is there will be a hollow open air area in the middle. So this is quite related to the sun orientation, because when the sun is on tengah, which means is 12 o'clock like that. So this area will get the maximum sunlight. So it's create a very nice view, or maybe opportunity, design opportunity for my project 2B later. And then for the trees, creating an interesting landscaping, and also opportunity to become a new nodes in content. So for the thread, I'm not sure is this correct or not. So cultural practice is getting faded. It's one of the thread in Pontian. So for my proposal, I want to do it like okay. So proposal, there is 6 art in basic education in Chinese traditional culture. So the first one is rites and moral. So this is more like it's very important for Chinese, not only Chinese. I think everyone should practice this culture, because especially towards our elders and teachers. And then the second one is the music. So it's also include dance. So dance and music is combined together one in traditional Chinese culture. And then the archery, which is one of the traditional sports and hunting skills. And the chariotry, it is riding horse skills. Yeah, it's usually combined with this archery. So, and then the fifth one is calligraphy. It is like Chinese calligraphy like this. Yeah, and then the last one is mathematics. So actually, six out of this it divided into 2 categories: moral, music, calligraphy, and mathematics is belong to civil. And then the archery and chariotry is belong to military, which mean something like sports like that. And then the civil is something like practice, and then to keep our heart peace like that. So this is my proposal. How to relate it to my side, like the weakness just now, it's lack of culture appreciations and so on. But why is Chinese culture? Because I think Chinese culture is also related to the what I say, the weakness just now is lack of Chinese cultural communication. So I think it's not only for Chinese, every races, no matter what races you are, I think it is a very good opportunity to let everyone practice this in Pontian, since it's lack of this kind of thing. So for the solution, I will design an interactive exterior or facade to attract the people, and then to provide attractive programs and spaces for youngsters to enjoy the program, since our target user is youngsters who finish their secondary school, after their secondary school. So it's how to say, it's a blank space, a blank period for them to explore things like these 6 arts. And then the timber also can create a contrast color tones with the neighborhood shop lots that I mentioned just now. And then the last one is create light design from interior to the exterior, which is something like lantern to attract people at night. So not only they will appreciate the facade only at the daytime and also the nighttime also. So the ideation, just a very general ideation. So my idea is I want to design something like lantern form to symbolize the lighthouse at the coastal to illuminate the route ahead for the youth, since the target user is youngsters. So for my precedent study, the first one is this Xiangyuan. This is in China. And then it is a homestay, but I take this as my case study only for facade design. This is a very good how to say to get the sunlight, and then it combine the ancestral house and the modern renovate, so it combined together. Yeah, this is the pictures. Yeah, this is to get the maximum sunlight. And then the second one, this is the pavilion of reflection. I take it as my structure precedent study, since I want it. Oh, sorry. This is located in Zurich, Switzerland, and the architect team is from Studio Tom Emerson, and it built from 2016, and it is very massive design, and then it actually reflect the lights that I wanted to take for my design. So as you can see the lake. Yeah, so apa lagi ya? So yeah, I think that's all from me.
Okay, GV. I think because yang Chinese ni, this one is very cool because you were talking about all the Chinese, right? But do you have data on the Pontian people about the Chinese population and so on? Because our concern is on the socio culture of that area, right?
Yeah.
And when you want to insert, you force the Chinese culture into this area. What is the relation? How is the relation?
Since nowadays they are macam mana relate
Because suddenly you want to insert something which is related to the Chinese culture, right? So that's
yeah.
why I'm asking, is there any data on population? Why do you need to insert this kind of culture in this area? The big why.
For the population, only from the site analysis, which is actually the Bumiputra is the main ethnic at Pontian, and then the second one is Chinese.
Okay, that's why I'm asking. How does you relate this one? Or perhaps this one is the commercial area, and then the business owners mainly are Chinese, for instance. So those are the things. How do you want to relate those things? If not, it is just like you are forcing things to be put over here,
Okay.
right? So, or is there any relation with the history of Pontian? For instance, there are people coming from China and then they do something in Pontian, and then you want to reflect back to the history of Pontian but related to Chinese culture, for instance. Okay?
Okay.
Yeah, even you yourself are struggling, right? Now,
Yes.
kan? If
Yeah.
if I actually, why do you want to insert something which is related to the Chinese? Okay, the ideation is good, but the relation though.
Okay, I will find out later.
And then maybe Also, you can also relook back to if there any client that you want to insert over here. For instance, the client invested something to put this Chinese learning center over here because of what, something like that, right?
Oh,
So
this one also can.
we don't really focus on the client for this
Ah.
semester because it is quite heavy for you. But if it helps you to further develop your ideation, it's okay.
Oh, okay.
Right? But please relate back. Why do you need to insert this Chinese culture in this area? Okay.
Okay. Can.
For at this moment, the justification is not strong enough, right?
Yes. Mm.
Let's say this is a Chinatown, so it is exactly the things that you want to insert over here. But this area, it is a lot of them are Malays, okay, and then that's why. Do you understand me?
What if,
Hmm.
doctor,
Hmm.
I can justify like because there are many Malay there, so need to have culture communication, so want to balance it. Macam
Aduh. Okay. 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 Tapi you need to find out the facts. For instance, like I
oh
said
the
before, because this one is the commercial area, right? And then perhaps
mm.
most of them are Chinese who own all these shop lots, for instance. Okay, yang tu you can just find
Mm.
out, right? And then how about the Chinese culture, which is related to the sea? For instance, is there any feng shui regulation or feng shui punya ideation about related to the sea view, for
Oh,
instance?
any
Ada?
other this one other mountain represent wealth and then water represent lux.
Okay, that one is also can be your justification in choosing this kind of apa tu Chinese culture. For instance, sea view is very important in Chinese culture. I don't know.
Mm.
But that one can be one of your justification just to justify. If not, macam saya cakap tadi lah, it just you are forcing something to be there,
To put
alright?
yeah.
Tapi kalau dia cakap in Chinese culture, water is very important. That's why you want to put something related to the Chinese culture. Okay? So try to find
Mm.
out more on this Chinese thing. Okay? This one is very interesting. Just that you need to prove it can be done over there. Okay?
Okay.
And then
Can.
also the lantern to symbolize yang tu pun I think this one is jumping into conclusion because you haven't done uh all this site inventory site
Mm.
synthesis yang betul-betul lagi kan. Suddenly
Yeah.
talking that you want to do something which is related to the lantern. That one is jump into conclusion. And then
So in this P2 P2A I no need to do the ideation.
boleh tapi you go backward
Oh
macam cakap
yeah.
tadi, you cari all the research first and then
Okay.
baru you masuk yang lantern tu. Alright?
Okay. Yang depan ini belum cukup strong lah. Okay.
Yes. I think a lot of you has the same problem for this script session. You haven't done betul-betul yang depan tu, but suddenly you come into the conclusion. Yang tu dia jump into the conclusion because why do you need to do the lantern? Even a lot of things can be used to represent Chinese culture. For instance, why don't you do something which is related to a dragon, for instance? Memang like that one is ridiculous. Tapi what other things? Even teratai apa tu? Lotus kan?
Oh, lotus. Yeah.
Ataupun phoenix, burung phoenix and so on. Why don't you go over there? Kenapa suddenly you go for the lantern? Alright? So that one, the things that you need to consider before choosing this lantern punya ideation. Alright? Baru kita
Okay.
nak cakap jump into conclusion. Okay.
Okay, doctor.
So, itulah. You cari dulu all this data tu to back up your ideation. Precedent Studies pun
Okay.
nanti after you revisit your site synthesis, your research more, perhaps your Precedent Studies can be changed, kan?
Yeah.
So tak apalah, yang tu you try to work backward dulu and then you go to your Precedent Studies.
Okay.
It might be changed later, right?
Okay.
Okay,
Okay, thank you, doctor.
right. How many students do we have?
I'm the only one.
Siapa tu?
Amir.
Siapa tu? Amir. Syami pun belum kan?
Syami. Belum pun.
Dia tak tulis nama.
Belum ada.
Okay.
Dia
Alright,
nak
2 orang lagi.
Nak rehat dulu ke?
You nak buat bila tapi? Sebenarnya kena pergi post office tapi
Macam lama kan takut. Kalau tak penat lah dengar.
malam boleh malam?
Boleh. Mana boleh?
Boleh. Syami boleh malam?
Boleh ada.
Kalau tak, kita rehat kat sini dulu and then kita sambung 9 malam. 8.30 lah boleh? 8.30.
2:30 boleh.
Boleh.
Boleh? 2 orang je kan?
Hmm.
Alright. Sorry sebab I nak kena kejar post office je. I takut tutup.
Tak apa dah tu.
Okay ke? So
Okay.
happy?
Ya tak itu ni. Aku penat ni.
Saya tak penat tapi saya nak kejar post office. Sorry. So okay alright. Sekejap. Kita buka kamera sekejap. Penutup sekejap. Oh, how about Fakira and Ashraf? Do you have anything to show?
I think for me, no yet.
No yet.
Not yet.
So after this, you will have your group session with Dr. Intan? Is it?
I'm not sure, but Dr. Intan said that until 30 November, she's not available. So maybe on next Thursday and also another Monday, I think we will be with yours again.
Okay. But I think she will do your offline credit, right? Offline credit, right?
I'm not sure about that. She didn't mention about it.
I think if it is on Thursday, it is better because we have the whole day to create for this credit session. But for today is because of you have the class tadi pukul 11 tu yang problem.
Okay.
Kalau tak, I boleh je create. Ataupun kalau you have anything to show malam ni ke.
I don't know, Fakira.
Tak buat lah tu.
I buat tapi macam only Precedent Study je.
Okay lah, kalau sempat nanti tunjuk. Kalau you nak, I create. Kalau tak nak, tak apa.
Nak.
Right? Tapi malam lah, boleh?
Boleh, I guess.
Tak apa, kalau you ada masa, you join. Kalau tak apalah. Right? Yang Fakira dengan Ashraf. Okay. So Amir boleh Amir and siapa tadi? Syami. 8.30. Okay. And then, I think for everyone, at least you have a good start for today, right? But yang tadi tu lah, first thing first you need to do is to redo your presentation board for the site inventory and site analysis because that one you will bring that one into your individual work. Okay, yang tu you kena betulkan dulu. And then because of the submission is the same day, that one is also should be submitted on the 2nd December. So it's better if I'm not sure what are you going to do this weekend, but I would suggest you do all those things this weekend, right? You settle up the presentation board for this site inventory first so that you can continue on your individual work, alright? And then like I said before, some of you are jumping into conclusion. That is our worry because like I said, yang the one that I have shown you in the Miro from the previous seniors work, right? If you see all the presentation board, they have already presented the 2 proposal. But that was the problem that we yang kita nampak masa tu. They tend to be mental block. They only stick to that to proposal, and then suddenly they don't want to change anything. So that's why on this semester we only ask you to do the design intent. You only stop until either you want to do the painting, or you want to do the collage, or you want to do sketches of your ideation. Alright, Dr. Izura already have given you some example of how do you want to do your design intent kan? Nanti you tengok from there, right? And then I also have given you some of the example from the third year on the design intent on keluang tadi. Yang tu pun part of the design intent. What are the things that they want to add on at keluang, right? So that is depend on how do you want to show your understanding of this Pontian, tambak Pontian. I think tadi Abi ada tunjuk. Abi is talking about this movement of people over there. Alright, so that is one of the design intent that you can do. Okay, and then I think a lot of you have still lack of research on this your topic. Okay, that's why yang tu pun sama. I don't want you to jump into conclusion. Suddenly you want to do macam tadi lah yang Chevy suddenly goes to the Chinese culture. But how do you relate back? When I ask you how do you relate back, and then you also don't know, kan? Because you are the one who want to do the Chinese learning center, not the Pontian people. Okay, so you can revise back. You need to think of you are the people of Pontian. What are the things that you need over there? It's okay, you want to maintain the Chinese culture, it's okay, but please reverse back. Please step back, work, and then do some more research to strengthen your ideation. Okay, you need to have a strong justification on whatever you want to do. Pontian, I'm okay with all the suggestion, but you need to prove me that that one is the really things that need to be put in Pontian. Okay, even Chevy, you were talking about somebody who has traumatic because of they has been put in prison and so on, right? But are those people are really suitable to be put there? That's why yang you kena kaji lagi tu, right? Siapa lagi ya? Pudin is talking about the culinary and gastronomy. So nanti dah juga you don't really put yourself in Pontian lah, I think everybody. Maybe because you do this site analysis tu from online kot. Kalau you were there, I think you will be appreciating Pontian, tambak Pontian tu much better. Okay, tapi tak apa, it's okay. You just do one more round site visit to Pontian. I mean virtually, and then think of ways how to relate back whatever proposal that you have proposed to the Pontian itself. Okay, you kena tengok tajuk besar kita yang untuk this semester is only talking about the social cultural responsive environment. So maksudnya whatever you do need to be responded to the social culture of Pontian. Alright? Yang tu is still lacking. Okay? Anything else? Do you want to ask anything? No?
Doctor, I have a question.
Hmm.
For our final P2A board, right? So we have to provide a very graphic board,
Yes,
or
yes.
just like the formal presentation board.
It is not a very technical presentation board. Okay, the one that you have presented, the one that you have presented before, for instance, the site analysis, site inventory, it is very technical. Okay, but this one is more on the ideation first. We don't need your 3D model first. Okay, this is the step before you go to your 3D model. Okay, and it also can be some sketches of ideation. Either you do it graphic in digital graphic, or you do all the sketches. Okay, but we don't limit you, we don't have any limitation, by the way. If you want to go to the 3D model, it's okay, but don't be mental block because of that. If the 3D model can help you to explain your ideation, it's okay, right? So depends. it's okay. I think we still have time, right? We still have this another Thursday, and then we have another Monday. Okay, we still have 2 great session. It is a good start, by the way. So just try to polish whatever you have today. All right. You don't have to change everything. You just refine whatever you have today. Okay.
Okay,
Guys?
doctor.
Okay. So clear, everybody. Actually, we don't have any sample to show you because this is the first time we are only focusing on the design intent. Last time that they do the proposal, during the portfolio meeting, the panel says that the students are lack of research. They jump into conclusion. They have provided the proposal at the very earlier stage. Okay, so that's why we need to go backward, do more research, and then try to refine back from your design intent until your design proposal later. Okay, so I think that's all for this evening, this afternoon. Okay, ataupun Amir and Syahmi, if you have the Miro link, you can just send me the Miro link first. Boleh? Nanti I'll go through first, and then I'll make you this tonight, alright? Boleh? Syahmi
Ya,
dengan
doktor.
Amir.
Boleh,
Okay?
doktor.
Kalau you share dulu. Kalau dah ada, you share dulu. Okay? Alright. So I think that's all for today. Thank you juga Fakira and Ashraf to be here today as our external panel. Alright. So after this, if you have anything to ask me, you are most welcome. Okay, I'm okay. You can just PM me whenever you want. Alright. So class dismiss here. Thank you everybody for today. Right.
Thank you, doctor.
Thank you,
Alright.
doctor.
Dr. Fred.
Thank you, dokter.
Okay.
Doctor.
Bye.